Intro's not set. All right, we're live, but the intro wasn't set, so let me just
roll that intro.
Let's go.
Medical units stand by. 30 seconds to contact. 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Got him. Let's go.
Welcome to all you art aficionados and comic book connoisseurs to another episode of Proof of Comics. I'm your host, Frederic Guimont, and here we like to talk about indie comics. We kind of make our own culture. And I'm here with someone who wrote his own story as well. Wrangler, my co-host. How you doing, dear sir?
Doing all right. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty stoked because we got an interesting guest today, and he just threw an interesting drawing on Twitter right before the show, and we're going to take a look at that. But before that, let me bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him probably from seeing him all over the place on Twitter and YouTube for about a month now. He's been starting his own campaign, as have I, and we are Micheal Ferraro. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, can you see and hear me okay?
I see and hear you perfectly.
Yes, sir.
I see a lot of neon little bomb characters from Mario 2.
That's right.
I see some purple. I see lots of shiny colors. How you doing, my man?
Dude, not bad, man. Not bad. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's a blast. Like, I've been seeing you around doing pretty much a lot of the same streams I've been doing as well. Like, sometimes you were coming in a week after me. Sometimes you were there a week before me, but we've kind of been on the same circuit promoting our...
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we're each other's competition in the indie space.
Right? But it's almost not competition either, because we're kind of like this. It's like we're very different books at the same time, because you got a very, I want to say girly, but it's not really. How would you describe your book? Because it's a lot of female-led stories, right? It's a lot of women characters. There's basically hardly any male characters in your cast that I could see, at least on the IndieGoGo page.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I'm pretty sure I want to explore other platforms. I really want to support FundMyComic. So when I do that, I really want to take the opportunity to improve. This is my first campaign. So I like what I put on IndieGoGo, and thankfully some people seem to dig it. But you always look at it, you're like, I can improve this, I can improve that. I do have more male characters. Part of it is it's interesting, even just being not just in the comic skate space, but I feel like the indie space in general, as a reaction to the mainstream and how they've girl bossed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a natural reaction for the indie space to be like, have feelings or, opinions on it. I share a lot of those opinions, but for me, growing up, like as a little kid in the 80s and a teen in the 90s and stuff,
fellow Gen Xer.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Same
Gen
here,
X.
man. I was born late 70s, so grew up with, I think we had the best generation, man. Saturday morning cartoons.
You didn't know how good we had it.
Sugary cereal,
Hell
skateboards,
yeah.
and BMX bikes. And in the 90s, like we had the best freaking music. We had like the onslaught of techno music at the same time as grunge and the peak rock and roll. We had hair bands in the 80s. And
Hell
how did that kind of inspire you? Like, did you take
That's
from
the
that?
thing. Yeah, it was like, okay, you just mentioned hair bands. Like, as a little kid, it was perfect because it was all like tits and beer and party. And so it was like, I wanted to like be those guys, like when I got older. Being a teen in the 90s, it also felt so perfect because the alternative and grunge bands seemed a little deeper. But on the female note, one of my favorite bands is the Smashing Pumpkins. And
Oh, yeah.
when I saw Darcy, like looking hot and cool, playing bass guitar, I was like, that's so cool. Like something, I mean, of course it's aesthetic, but I just thought, man, I love that. And then if you backtrack to the 80s with Aliens, like Sigourney Weaver was just badass, but it felt organic. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like out of place. So I really started to desire cool female characters that didn't erase their femininity or their hotness or anything like that, but just like it just seemed kind of fresh. And to me, it still is for what I'm doing. So my story is heavily influenced by fighting stories like Rocky and the Karate Kid.
Oh,
But
yes.
I just figured, let me take it a little bit from not a female perspective, but again, like, I mean, the simple way to put it is I just like looking at hot girls or attractive girls. So putting them in these roles just kind of satisfies that. But as you can see here, like she's conducting this experiment because she's got to face this part of the fighting tournament is a arm wrestling portion, and the champ is this gigantic dude. So of course her little frame and her hand can't even realistically fit in his hand. So she comes up with a solution. You know what I mean? So she's a scientist. She's not a girl boss. Like if she faces a guy, she has to find a way to go around that. And she also, yeah. And she faces mostly girls anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, when I was seeing you talk about your project on different streams, I was like, oh, fuck, I made a huge mistake. I should have like just made my hero a girl, so I'd be drawing girls all the time. It'd be way more fun. I think you've got like
that's a big part of it. Yeah, dude, I just enjoy drawing girls more. I mean, of course I love like whatever, so many male characters growing up, of course, like heroes, but like you just said, like it is fun to draw them. So that's a big part of it as well.
Well, that's because they have the curves and angles. I mean, it's the same thing as what would you find more fun to draw? A classic American muscle car or a modern day sedan?
Exactly.
I mean, the modern day sedan, I would imagine, is much easier to draw, but it doesn't look as nice.
No, dude, I brought this up on another stream. I feel like just humans, like creation, like everyone's chasing that form. You mentioned cars. If you look at guitars, we're all trying to just capture those curves. Like it's just such an appealing, inherent thing that we admire. And this is the other thing when it comes to what the mainstream has done, like taking the femininity away of female characters and whatnot.
Oh yeah, we see a lot of girl bosses, but no more cleavage. There's no seduction. There's no like.
And what drives me nuts about that is that part of the reason that they're doing this is to force this kind of like so-called wanted or needed diversity or make things more realistic, when I feel it's not just straight guys like us that like hot girls. It's straight girls,
The
of
girls
course,
too.
lesbians, of course, gay guys, even. Everyone loves looking at hot girls. So it just seems so short-sighted and unnecessary for these companies to seemingly have this like agenda to like, get rid of boobs and like de-emphasize this. And again, in terms of realism, what are we talking about? These are comics. Part of the appeal is to do whatever it's like fantastical. Like, granted, if you're telling a realistic story, of course it would behoove you to do research and focus on trying to make something a little more realistic or grounded. I think we're all doing that to a degree. My comic maybe a little less than some others, but still, have some realism, but it's still a fantasy.
Superhero comics are a power fantasy, right?
Exactly.
It's a power fantasy for young guys, whether the reader's actually young or not. It's just like your teenage mindset. It's a power fantasy. Superheroes, they can enact into the world, make change, and have a huge impact. And it's the same thing when you play a video game, right? You don't want to play a wimpy guy half the time. You want to play a superpower being, or just scale him up to that, and have a huge impact towards the end of the story and the game, where you become overpowered and you can take on massive opponents and save the damsel or save the world or have a huge impact in a climax. And that's the whole thrill of it. It's like rock and roll in visual form, man. It's
exactly. And that, you just brought up a great point too, with male characters like superheroes. I don't recall any guys complaining, oh, Superman is too good looking or too muscular. Oh, Batman is too cool, I'm intimidated, or I want to feel seen. Why can't Batman look like me? I don't want.
I think part of that though is as dudes, we see that and go, wow, that's an inspiration. Where women can be by nature a little more catty, and when they see that, they don't say what an inspiration, they say that's a threat.
Yeah.
Which
women
is,
feel threatened by beautiful, especially extremely.
But if they can generate
women,
their own characters, they make them hot every time.
There you go. So I just that's been part of, like, not my agenda. All I really want to do is make a fun, entertaining story and great characters, and I feel like what you should go into art doing. But in terms of agenda, part of what attracted me to this space is the not just even the reclaiming of this kind of stuff, but whether the celebration or just really the freedom to do these things without these restrictions that the mainstream industry seems to impose.
But like you pointed out, it goes beyond that, because you mentioned we've always been chasing that form, whether it's a guitar, a car, or whatever. But the agenda where they took away those curves and the femininity and made all the female characters androgynous, when you think about it, it's going beyond that. Look at architecture today; everything's just a cube.
Yup.
You don't have these creative flowing buildings anymore that just you want to sit there and look at and go, wow, that's cool. It's just all a big block.
And part of, whether you want to say communism or even just the equality movement in terms of gender, is it just stands to reason. If you break down those standards, right, where like it seems to be, at least subconsciously, this thing like, oh, everyone has to feel seen and accepted. And one way to do that is to make everything vanilla and like a certain standard way, no deviation. And that's just, that's that goes against life, man. Or like
Yeah, dude,
certainly
they're-
goes against the American way. I know Frederic is Canadian.
Yeah, but I'm
the other
considering myself
gentleman-
as a future American. I have hope
Yeah,
for the 51st state. We'll see. My
I've
money's
heard you
on
say that in a
red,
couple
wine, and
streams.
blue. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say I'm more based than the average Canadian. I've just been following what's been happening and seeing, but like it's very liberal here. It feels like California to the extreme. Obviously, when you get out of the city, it's a little bit more conservative, like every area. But the city, all my old friends, and I come out of like I went to art school here, and it's a very liberal environment as well. So even I was way more leftist when I was younger. That was just kind of the norm. My parents grew up very conservative, but then you watch TV, movies, you get influenced as a teenager. But dude, the way the whole world is like shifted, it just like shook me awake. I want to say, not woke. Scribe Rosario's here in the chat. Welcome, Rosario. Nice to see you, man.
Dude, Scribe has contributed graffiti pieces for like backgrounds in my comic.
No way.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
cool. That is cool. And you have done a piece like right before the show. I saw you post something and tag me in it. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Let me pull down this one temporarily.
Nice.
We'll bring it back up in a second. Stop sharing this one. I was gonna show Wrangler before the show, but I was like, dude, I want his real reaction first because I think this is so cool.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You see her?
It's Black Medusa.
Exactly. She's a little bit more pink, but she is fantastic. Nice work,
dude,
man.
I'm glad you dig it. Yeah, I was it only occurred to me at some point yesterday, and I guess I wasn't subconsciously inspired by a show I did a few weeks ago where the guests graciously gifted me fan art. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do that for Frederic. Like, I wish I had thought of this with other artist streams, but yeah, it occurred to me yesterday. So I got on it last night, finished it up today. And yeah, I was digging it. So I was hoping you were.
Oh yeah, dude, this is freaking awesome. I've been so blessed by having people like do a lot of fan art of the character. Like I never expected to have fan art of my project before the first book is out. Like even after the first book is out, there's not a lot of young people who are going to be reading this. We're kind of selling it to our own little, our old peers in the beginning. So to have that happen here in Comicsgate on shows, on draw streams, it just blew me away. I mean, it started with Omer Glitch is the first one who drew a piece of Ratel. And then I went on art streams and people would just start drawing my characters and I'd be floored. I'd be, wow, that is so cool. And it's something special because it's a special kind of gift you can only give with your skills and your talent. It takes your time as well to do it. So I always felt like it's a unique and very like, attentionné. I'm getting French vocabulary mixed in here, but like it takes a lot of attention and time to do that. So I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for doing that, Michael.
Dude, this is not hyperbole. It is, if not my favorite thing, one of my favorite things to get. Is one of the shows you're talking about the studio?
Yeah, I was on the studio 57th episode. You were there a week after me, right? I think you were 58. And Dawn was
you were there the week before? See, like,
yeah.
You know how it is, man. There's so many shows. I try to tune in. Depends on, like you happen to be.
Oh, you can't catch them all, man. It's not like Pokemon.
Yeah, dude, it's very hard.
Yeah,
especially when a lot of them overlap with time slots now.
Yeah.
So I got to go back and see that. I was on there Saturday, and I didn't know. Only Omar had sent me something a couple days before, and it was just inks, and of course that was amazing. But I didn't realize, was it 2 or 3? That's a thing. There was a few other guys drawing my characters, and it was so surreal. I was like, because at first I saw Duck Bacon, who is freaking amazing. Like he was drawing a hot girl, And early on, so I was messing with him. I'm like, oh, this guy knew I was coming on. A lot of people know me for drawing sexy gals. Now he's going to try to one-up me, show me how it's really done. It was only halfway through the show where I'm like, oh my God, that's like one of my White Spider characters. So that was like so amazing.
Oh, dude, that's freaking awesome. And so do you have a lot of shows planned? How long is your campaign lasting, by the way? I'm curious about that because I'm doing my own as well. I went for a 3-month stint. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I was just like, I asked people, I was like, oh, we're doing 1 month and then we extend 1 month. And for some reason, I was like, I'll do an extra month. And now I'm in the 3-month go at it, but I have no idea what I'm doing, man. I'm learning every day as I go. So what is kind of your approach to this campaign?
Dude, I am right there with you. Again, it's my first one. I've been following campaigns, which should be obvious, for like years now in terms of like, I've been doing reviews of books in this space for years. So, of course, I've been backing them and, you know, essentially following the campaign. So I had a feel of like time frames and pricing and all that, the amount of backers the average creator seems to get. Then you got like the big guys like EVS, you know, thousands of backers. So in terms of time frame, like early on, one of the things that got me paying attention to crowdfunding, probably ironic maybe in this space, but it was Eric July and his ISIM campaign. Like, it was obviously huge, but it was the time frame that he kept going with for the first couple campaigns. Maybe still, I'm not sure, but the first couple at least were 75 days. And I thought,
that's
Eric July, whether you love him or hate him, we got to hand it to him. He energized the indie movement with his momentum. He really did. So whatever you think about him, we do have to credit him with that.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was paying attention and I was making my little web comics, but when it came down to like, okay, like, oh wow, you could like crowdfund the physical. It happened organically. I was making web comics, which I was enjoying, but it seemed more disposable. So of course I love physical comics. So once I heard about Eric July, Ethan, I mean, I had known of Ethan from the 90s Cyberfrog and then his work with DC and stuff. But when I heard about the crowdfunding, I was like, oh wow, like that's great. So yeah, man, like I said, paying attention to the ISIM campaign, I was like, oh cool, like 75 days. That seems like a beefy amount of time. So I thought that's what I would do for a while until I saw other people in the space seem to generally do 30 to 60.
Right. I see a lot of like 30 days and then they do an extended 30 days, something like that.
This is where the new IndieGoGo comes in.
Oh, dude, you were right in the middle of that.
Dude, I really, how can I? So I wanted to launch a campaign like well over a year ago, but I kept putting it off because I was like, I want more of it done. I want to build my network more, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So then when this year was rolling on, I'm like, all right, October's my favorite month. And it's also the last month before everyone says is the dead zone, like November to January or whatever, or February. Right. So I'm like, cool, October it is. No more procrastinating. Let's do it. So the week I launch, IndieGoGo goes through the transition and is down for like almost 2 days. Like I launched and then it was down like the next day for like 2 days. I could not believe it. I'm
man.
Like, complete. I'm not claiming that a significant amount of people would have backed in that time, but I'm pretty damn sure some would have and just couldn't get through and were like, whatever,
Well, usually everyone says the same, and I can observe the same with my campaign. You get a lot of backers at the beginning, and if you're lucky, you get another wave at the end. So yeah, having that happen at the beginning, it's not a good thing. Like, it's definitely,
I couldn't believe it. So thankfully, like, it felt like a couple days after that, things just started lining up. I was jumping on a bunch of streams. People were really cool. It's like that cliche of there's so many to thank, but there are, like Katie did, Elliot, Salty, on and on. Like there were so many people that had me on. I got backers, and you know what? I'm curious as to what your experience has been. My experience, one thing I've recognized or learned is like, if I was on a stream, I'd usually get backers. But if I wasn't, it was either stagnant or like maybe one here and there. Was that your experience, or did you just get backers even if you weren't?
No, for the most part, I had to be on stream. I had to be on the show. It would be during the show, and then maybe I'd have a couple of extra overnight, like especially on big streams like Katie's show or Ethan, because I was lucky enough to go on Ethan's show. I got a bunch of haters. So I'm co-host on the Comic Skate Commandos. So I asked Patrick, the host, I was like, can we launch it on your stream? It feels like, home territory. I know everybody. It'll feel like, more at home. Katie's a co-host on there as well. Like she comes in during the second half of the stream for the most time.
Yeah.
And so Katie said, okay, I'm going to stream it simulcast on her channel, which gave it a boost as well. So I think we got something like 7 backers the first day.
Nice.
And then the next day, so that was on a Saturday evening, and I had a couple of like backers because I'm doing a Bitcoin crowdfund at the same time, because my superhero is a Bitcoiner. I'm a Bitcoiner myself, and I'm like in that whole network space too. So I had friends and people waiting in the Bitcoin space and Bitcoin meetups to support the project as well. So I had a couple of people back me on the Geyser.fund, which is a Bitcoin crowdfund. So I had just a little bit of that. And then on Saturday, I launch. And then Sunday, I get a hater starting to say, and it wasn't even addressed at me. The hater was kind of talking to Katie saying, look at how Comic Skate is dead. They can't launch new projects because for them, 7 backers is a terrible, terrible launch.
That's right. I remember that. I saw that.
So
Yeah.
that turned out to backfire on them, because Ethan saw that and he was like, oh yeah, well maybe we'll have him on and see if we can help him get kickstarted a little bit and all that jazz, kind of like. So I kept getting more backers during that day. I had a low goal of 500. What's your goal? I'm curious. You have like 1,500 or something? Yeah, 1,500. Yeah. So I went with 500. I'm like, okay, this is my first campaign. Let's do a low goal. I saw a lot of people doing that low number. And then right before I went on Ethan's stream, I hit the 500 mark. Hey, Aaron, nice to see you, man. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here.
Another good guy.
Oh yeah, Aaron's got a show as well.
That dude's a trip.
Yeah, he's got a great book too. Great creator.
Yeah, I back that.
And so right before going on Ethan's stream, I met the $500 goal. So we got like, I think 5 or 6 more during the show, and then a couple overnight. And then I did Katie's on Monday morning, and she pushed it a lot. And,
I'm sorry, but there are too many other Ethans on here.
Right? EVS, as we know him in the biz. And on Katie's Monday, I got, I think, 5, and then maybe a 6th after the show or something like that. So that kind of kicked me off. And everything after that was maybe 1 to 3 backers per show. Like it's smaller, but most shows would give me a backer or 2.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the art streams were not as influential as the talk streams or the drama streams, quote unquote. Yeah. Speaking of drama, we're joined by the Lord Otter.
I am the drama weasel.
How you doing?
Hey, man.
Hello.
Do you know Michael, or have you seen him around on the Twitters, or first time seeing him? No Otter?
I've seen him. I know the name for sure.
Oh, you're muted.
I'm an Otter.
Okay.
Oh, were you asking me?
Oh, yeah. I was talking.
Oh, well, then the awkward silence wasn't for nothing then. Okay. Well, no, I haven't. I am sorry to say, but it's very nice to meet you. What is your X account? Might I follow you?
It's all in the description. Yeah, gnarly. I'm going to let you answer that. Michael? Sorry to
Oh
jump
yeah,
the
just
gun.
gnarly comic. Pretty simple,
Let's see.
thankfully.
Yeah, didn't mean to put you on the spot there, Otter. I was just
No, it's
curious if
good.
you
It's
had
good.
you see him. But gnarly Michael has seen the Otter. The Otter takes a lot of space on Twitter. He's slowly taking over, which is concerning to me. The
I'm
Otter
just the
science.
annoying water weasel you see everywhere.
That's right. And Otter just launched his own book on Halloween. So, but authors don't do crowdfundings like comics. They just like launch them on Amazon and don't do all the whole campaigning spiel, do you guys?
There we are. You have yourself a new follower, sir. Also, I have to say I very much appreciate the Medusa lady.
Right? Look at that,
Oh,
man.
cool.
Isn't she gorgeous? Michael, can I totally swipe her and add her into my, because I'm going to have like an art section on the book.
Oh,
Fan
of
art.
course.
I'm going to add that to my folder
Hell yeah.
because she's
Yeah,
very
like
hot. Very hot.
I was looking up reference poses, and when I saw a girl with her arms up, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with, like, I obviously knew she had snakes, back there, and I'm like, when I saw the arms up pose, I'm like, oh, cool. I was so happy to get the concept down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. And you got like all the snakes have their own kind of direction and attitude.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I wasn't
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
at the snakes. I was looking at something else, but never mind me.
Yeah,
We-
I knew you
we
were.
started
Yeah,
the
beautiful,
show.
beautiful rope belt.
Well, it's those wonderful assets that Michael has drawn for us.
We started the
Her
show
eyes?
talking about female characters, and like I think at this point anyone that follows me or sees my stuff is not going to be surprised. Like if I'm doing fan art, it's probably going to be a female character. Yeah.
Shocker. Shocker.
Also, Draw Zombie says he's the author of his own book. I'll have you know I'm a published author. Thank you very much.
Right.
Nice.
I started listening to your book on my trip this weekend. Haven't gone
very nice.
all the way through yet, but it's fascinating stuff. I'm loving it.
Oh, very nice.
I'm loving it.
If I might be so curious, what part did you leave off on?
Chapter 4.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I love the intro. They get into jail. I don't want to spoil anything, but like they get their names and everything, and then
They're
turn
doing
that,
time.
yeah,
They're
they turn the
paying off
criminal
their
into a
debts.
friend, and then they go into the arena and all that good stuff.
It already sounds
Getting off their
great.
drug addiction.
I didn't get that.
It already sounds great to me. What's the premise?
So it is the Steel and Stormbright saga. So if you like swords and sorcery, that's all about dynamic duos. Particularly, this is the story of two brothers against the world. Two innocent human brothers having to deal with the race collectively termed as the Ograthians, a society deemed higher than thou, and they pretty much have to deal with all the malice and narcissism around said society. They go from being boys to being men by the end.
Oh, nice. I like it.
And while we're on it, let's play Otter's Otter's trailer here, and then we can get back to the Kool It campaign real quick.
And Everly did a fantastic job of that song too.
He really
Dude.
did.
That slays, man. So is this is a novel?
Yes.
Yeah.
2 novels, in fact, as of now.
And like the song, they both rock.
Nah, it's
Hey.
it's a cool trailer. I'm curious about the illustrations. Are they anywhere in the book, or is there like are they like just cover base or in the back or?
Oh, there's some interior art. All those sketches you saw, those are actually within the book itself.
Cool.
I don't mean to take up too much time, but I can show you a few of these sketches that
Hell yeah.
that
Yeah.
Really?
Sir
I didn't
Medusa
find them
for.
anywhere in the audiobook.
Yeah, same here, Otter. Like I've been listening to the audiobook and there's no pictures.
Well, I mean, that is a bit of a shame. That's the one version that doesn't have artwork
You got to
associated
talk to your
with it.
audiobook guy, man. I don't think he's really.
We'll go ahead and pull up a few different illustrations. I'll go ahead and
Hell yeah.
share. There we are.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so we get some pretty stellar artwork by Sir Neutron Boar. He did the vast majority of this, as well as Frederic for a couple of illustrations.
Nice.
It's the chapter separators or something.
Yeah, these are
love the
largely
one-
interspersed throughout the books. But yeah, we've got quite a variety of them. So there's quite a few illustrations throughout.
But you
No,
do
they
have
look
to
great.
read words in his book, though. That's the down part. You know, you actually have to read stuff.
Yes, that is one down part.
And now, I'm going to show him this beautiful two-headed lady here.
Yeah, this is the lady that Frederic is all over. Like I say lady, but whenever
It's
they're
just a
actually ladies.
Anatomical curiosity, Otter. Nothing more.
No, the art is great. Girls look great. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Probably that's probably going to get a fair bit of attention.
Hell yeah.
Zombie says there's a problem with IGG. Won't let you buy it. Is the campaign still open?
Mine?
Yeah. Project
Okay,
funded.
so that is the other thing with IndieGoGo. Besides the fact that they shifted and I lost 2 days at the start, they have this new thing, which oddly enough is called the cooling off period. That's what they call it, where for 2 weeks after you close, it's just paused. And then when the 2 weeks are up, you go into the new in demand, which is called late pledges. But from what they were saying, you can't extend a campaign, which John Malin found out the hard way because his Black Riding Hood 2 ended recently. And
yeah, I bought mine, backed mine on the last day.
Oh wow, yeah. So I think his plan was to extend it another 30 days. That was my plan. I guess neither of us can do that, but if I can go into late pledges, that's cool. You know, my thing is, especially now, if I'm going to do FundMyComic, I look at it like Irene Portillo's cover. That's the exclusive cover on IndieGoGo. That's going to remain exclusive there. So if you like her stuff, you want to support her, you can go to IndieGoGo and get that cover. And I'm going to make a new one for FundMyComic.
So I believe it was Aaron C with Immortal Rising. He was asking me a question earlier.
Oh, yeah. He says, are you gaming with Harmony Ginger soon?
I actually will be. Believe it or not, I've actually played in a few games of hers before, and it's been a lot of fun. This is, to my knowledge, it's just going to be a game night with Cosmic Encounters, which I've heard her talk a lot about. But I've actually got to play in a few games of hers where she's ran 5e in the past. It's really fun.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard you talk about that. And Aaron also says share the audiobook link too, if you can.
I will go ahead and search that up.
So Draw Zombie, dude, I'm sorry, man. You got to cool off for 2 weeks. What a torture period, man. And I don't see the value in that. It blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah. It's a momentum killer. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So anyone who's interested, I was on the CG Church 2 days ago. The kind of cool thing is, no pun intended, like, if
You can intend a pun. You're totally
yeah,
legitimized to do that.
yeah, like if it's free, if you want to just follow it, if you find anything interesting, just follow the campaign. I got a couple followers on CG Church that way. Like, so, I mean, I don't need a campaign, obviously, to come hang with you guys. I love talking with you guys and checking out other
100%.
campaigns.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of like promotion, like, yeah, just follow it if you'd like. That'd be cool.
Frederic, I think you actually have to post the link if you're going to share it.
Yeah, I'm on it, Otter. Here we go. Here's the link to the audiobooks. Be warned, there are no pictures in this audiobook.
Alas.
Is that person's name Draw Zombie? It's hard for me to see here.
Yeah, Draw Zombies saying terrible. I think it's about the cooldown period.
Thank you so much for trying, man. Or
yeah.
Is that a guy? I'm not familiar with the name.
It's a zombie, so I don't even know if he still has genitals or anything,
But thanks so much for your interest. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Close to having a backer, but we're blue balled by the blue ball period here.
Dude,
we're all learning because they've been bought off by a new company. People were looking forward to maybe them doing, if they had just stopped the shadow banning and just the all right, just banning people outright, it would have been a great improvement and people would have been happy. But they're doing these strange changes that are not necessarily asked for. They're changing the vocabulary of stuff. I've heard people who have been just rummaging through the site trying to find the information they need to send out the books as well.
Exactly.
So stuff is not obvious. So that's unfortunate, man. It happens once in a while on the internet. Like, just you go to a site and the interface is all changed, but now your business depends on it. And we're seeing people making their own sites as well. Like Shane Davis has his own website. We were talking about earlier, Rippaverse. Rippaverse started off with their own website as well, which I thought was a good move, personally.
Yeah.
And I think EVS is going to get Yanzi to make a website for him as well. So he'll eventually have his own crowdfunding. And if you can own your own chain of production, I think that's an unfair advantage you got to take advantage of. Sheldon says that cool off period reminds me of the "I'll come back to get this" at the conventions. Yeah, that's the thing. Is you could have made a sale, but then,
dude, again, man, like when this happened, I thought, all right, I was booked on at least like 2 or 3 streams. I'm like, like it sucks I can't promote. But of course I didn't cancel because I'm like, I want to talk and chill with these guys. Like, I don't care. But knowing
you're still
that
going to get the word out, you're still going to get, promotions and connections with people, but it's a missed opportunity, right?
Yeah. When you see like someone that was going to back, it's like, that sucks. So, yeah.
I've been launching my campaign on Instagram, IndieGoGo. I'm making my own Oh, really? Awesome, man. Good on you. I've been using.
Yeah, good move.
It is, man. If you can do it, if you can build your own, more power to you. I've been using FundMyComic. I have no regrets with FundMyComic. Except one time I was on a stream. It was actually EVS's stream, and he was trying to full screen the trailer, and the trailer would not full screen. It just acted weird, which hasn't happened on any other show. So I was like, oh no, what's going on? Other than that, no issues at all with FundMyComic. Actually been pleasantly surprised. I've been featured at the top of the page when it came out. That's due to people tipping the site. Luke Stone was super quick to approve the campaign. Any changes I made were quickly approved. There was no waiting, nothing bad to say at all. And I also did I had some parallel crowdfunding on Geyser for Bitcoin, as I mentioned earlier, and I had a little bit of technical issues there, but luckily I was able to resolve them, and it was down for maybe 1 or 2 days, and that was resolved. And at the same time, I still have FundMyComic that was working perfectly well. So
That's the thing with FundMyComic. It's just I don't know how to say it sometimes when I'm on streams because they have to approve you. So I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on FundMyComic. Like I don't see why I wouldn't be approved, but you know what I'm saying. Like until
it's just to make sure that it's to filter out the people who won't fulfill their campaigns. So it's just not an automatic approval because they want to make sure people will, have a plan. They know that they've already got a printer in mind. They've got a plan to see this through to fruition, which you obviously have your shit together, as they say. I know it's not going to be an issue. Like at worst case, you're going to get a couple of questions answered. And I gave myself a week in advance, and I was starting to worry. I was like, oh, he's a week enough. And then Luke Stone, he approved it within the same day. I was like, whoa, nice. That doesn't mean everybody's going to get the 1 day treatment, but I was just like blown out of my mind. Like, wow, okay, this is right on.
Yeah,
man.
I would imagine timing has a lot to do with that.
It could, yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. I'm just like spinning around in my head. I'm like, I imagine some days he could sit there and check out multiple projects for approvals, and other days be like, I got too much going on. I can't get to that quite yet.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask,
life.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, Michael.
Otter, before.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're familiar with B.A. Turner.
Oh yeah. We've talked with B.A. Turner on stream once or twice.
Yeah, we've had him on the show. Looks like we've got Pizza the Pug here joining us. How you doing, James? Welcome.
Hey man. I mentioned BA.
Hello, my servants.
Hey man.
Nice.
Hey, old James.
Otter's project reminded me of his because he's got novels, and he had included with the novels the kind of floppy sized comic that had like character descriptions and different points, like plot points. But of course now he's adapting Vigilante's Creed into a comic. Is that something that you've considered or like planning or?
Yeah, it's honestly something I'd like to try somewhere down the road. I actually want to see if I can get this segment of the Steel and Stormbright saga finished with, which in my mind, so there's 2 books out. I'm picturing the current story being about 4 books, but that's not going to be the end of the series, just kind of like one stage of their lives and one big story being told. But I definitely, for me, I could easily see it being a comic down the road. I could easily see it. It's already halfway there to being a comic.
Yeah. That's why I asked.
I'm trying to peer pressure him into making a comic. So you're helping here, Michael. Together we can give him a lot of peer pressure.
Yeah, go for it, Otter. After all, mine would never translate into one. No.
I'll say this: some of the big inspirations, aside from like old school sword and sorcery, like classic Dungeons and Dragons Appendix N sources, there's it's also been inspired by other IPs like Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, stuff like that, where it's kind of like a blend between a comic and an actual novel at points. More novel than comic for sure, but I could easily see it becoming a comic down the road.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we've got an important question, Otter. If it becomes a comic, will there be boobs?
Well, there's already boobs. Speaking of which, we were talking about B.A. Turner's project with Vigilante's Creed. It was through B.A. Turner that I actually learned about Corey Barton's artwork, and I actually commissioned Corey to do a couple art pieces that are unfortunately not, but I want to promote them however I can until they actually get into the omnibus version of the books. Nice. Sheldon, that is a yes. Let me see if I
Corey's
can
great. This stuff is really
Yeah,
Really
Corey's
cool.
often in the chat. It's almost surprising to not see him here today.
He'll be here, trust me. Just
Yeah.
just give it another 30 minutes.
That's how it starts. I mean, in the first book, you have like trademarked athletic tits. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. That was just an editing thing that became a meme. I had Billy, like he's usually on the show, but he's also been a consistent beta reader for the series. I sort of redesigned my villain in a couple different ways. And I originally imagined her with more of an athletic build, almost kind of like an Olympics like runner or something. So whenever it had a slightly spicier moment, I described her breasts as athletic. And he's like, "What the fuck, Otter?" So Otter's book now has athletic tits in it, even though I completely changed most of that. So that's just kind of become its own thing. Also, Frederic, if you want to share, I have it up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We'll be right back to this. Here we have some Corey Barton art as well.
Nice.
And Immortal Rising, Aaron also has a lot of some Corey artwork. He's got a cover with the blue lady who was like super famous in the space on Twitter.
That's
Corey,
right. Yeah.
Corey's boobs are the best boobs. Aaron and I know this, and so does B.A. Turner, even though he doesn't take advantage of it quite as much.
Athletic boobs like you, Ka.
Like I ca? I see.
Like you, Ka.
Yeah, Corey is king of the blue babes.
He's
Well, I am the king of the
Between
bronze.
Felix Mon and Cyanistra.
Oh, speaking of blue babes, one of the ones on one of my images on my campaign sparked this crazy debate on CG Church on Sunday night about what constitutes a furry.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah,
Tell what happened. Keep going.
So
Do tell.
Details.
my characters are not furries.
Yeah.
They are inspired by the grand tradition. I have a cat girl right here, Felicia from Darkstalkers, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Sexy,
yeah,
she-
Felicia's iconic.
She is not a furry. She's just a cat girl. So I have one of the guys in my comic is a self-insert. He's like the twin brother to the main character. His name is Mikey, of course. He's based on my more idiotic, more slacker stoner self of my 20s, right? So he wants to bang everything that moves, and that includes cat girls and fish girls from another dimension, or other dimensions. So on one of the images,
Fish girls?
okay, so
Okay.
if you
I need explanation for that one.
you could, if you scroll down the campaign, there's a collage image of the characters.
I remember that.
Yeah. Well, there's green girls, right? A kind of bluish
Okay.
elf girl.
Oh,
Do any of them
because I was a
die?
Trek fan. Them Orions.
Yeah. So
Do any
those
of
are
them
normal
die?
girls. So the fish girl is straddling the Mikey character in the bottom left.
Oh, I see what you mean.
She's not a furry, and I never heard this term before.
Scaly?
Scaly?
Yes, Cynic said scaly. He's like, that's some scaly shit. I'm like, what the hell is it? I never heard of scaly
No,
before.
I think he might have made that up because I just made that up now. I have never heard of it. Also,
I
can
thought
you get this?
you had
can you
me
get this
fooled.
chat off
I
my
was
page?
gonna say she's more of like a mermaid or something like that. That's kind of
Yes.
the impression I get.
a maiden, a mermaid.
Yeah,
Scaly
she-
shit.
I just think she's a sexy girl. She just happens to have
Yeah.
weird. It's like the Star Wars chicks. Like you find any manner of like sexy girls, but they have sometimes weird things coming out of their head. Or
Now I know this
whatever.
is a
Like
comic, but I
brains.
have to ask: Does she have some like a fish perfume? Does she smell like the ocean?
Oh,
Oh no.
I think I've written down jokes about that in a notebook. But definitely in the comic, Mikey's sister Zoe, the main character, she pokes fun at him about because they mention how she self lubricates.
Oh
So
boy.
Zoe says
Okay.
something akin to like, "Oh, that's good because he'll never be able to get you." I'm paraphrasing, but like he'll never be able to get you wet the traditional way. So it's good that you can get wet yourself. Yeah. So jokes like that are going to be aplenty in that kind of talk in my book for sure.
Okay, well, I just got here. What is your book? Secondary pitch time.
We could start with the trailer. We haven't watched it yet. So do you
Okay,
want us to go into the
Yeah.
trailer, Michael?
What's that?
Do you want us to launch the trailer? I think that might
Oh,
be
whatever you'd like.
yeah,
Whatever you guys
let's
want
do
to do.
that.
Follow
That'll
me.
get James in up to date with the project, and we haven't seen it yet, so that'll be nice. But before we do, Otter Sheldon says like they're so big you could play basketball with them. That was his question.
I mean, look at them yourself. I imagine they are. They've got plenty of jiggle physics to account for that, so I don't doubt it.
Awesome. All right, let's get into it.
New Jersey. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah, there you have it, folks, man. So this is a magical place, New Jersey. This is a fantastical, mystical land you've created.
Jersey.
Yeah,
Jersey.
just like a obviously heightened version of New Jersey, but most of the weirdness just as a result of my character's always scientific experiments. She opens up portals where, again, a cat girl comes from a cat dimension, fish girl. There's time travel elements, characters from the future. Just an excuse to have a variety of cool, weird characters. Street Fighter is a huge influence.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So, like-
That's interesting.
There's a lot of martial arts
so
in this
Street-
one.
What's that?
There's a lot of martial arts in this one.
Yeah. So in Street Fighter, you have like a character like Blanca, and it's
Mhm.
just like, what, how, why, how is he like that? You have characters throwing Hadokens. It's just accepted. Like, so I just
Jeez.
love those character designs. So I just wanted the freedom to like design characters however I wanted and just come up with like fun scientific, like weird science kind of explanations for it. Yeah.
All right, nice. So, what is the explanations? Where do these powers come from?
Okay, so her arm like that, she enters a fighting tournament that's like all encompassing. So there's like jujitsu, kung fu, wrestling, arm wrestling. So the arm wrestling champ is this like beast of a dude. You see him in the trailer, actually, Bobzilla, just this
Okay.
huge guy. So
Bobzilla.
I was thinking, like,
There's a lot of
how's
huge
her-
in there.
Yeah. So how's her like petite little hand gonna possibly even fit in his hand, no less take him on? So since she's not a girl boss and she's just not going to be magically strong, she has to experiment on herself to just at least have the arm
Okay.
big enough to face him, and that's what you're looking at right there.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you
it's
call
like-
this? Does she have a name for this huge arm technique?
No, I haven't like
Okay.
you know, I've written out most of the script. My process is like I'll draw the panels, have the dialogue ready, but then I'll, I'm sure some of you guys do a version of this. You kind of change things on the fly to
Oh,
just,
yeah.
just refine stuff.
Yeah,
Feel it out.
especially the dialogue aspect towards the end. You can change the captions and the dialogues to
Exactly.
to cover your
So-
ass for the stuff you forgot to add in. You know?
Exactly. So I have, 3/4 or so of the book done, but I'm still refining stuff. And I like that process. I just feel like until it's sent to the printers, like I just wanted the best that I can get it,
And you're working
what
digitally
made
as well, I think. So digitally allows you to play with it a little bit more than if it was
Yeah.
analog. Yeah.
Yeah. I sketch out characters and whatnot, but all the inking and colors is digital. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You had a process where you kind of draw your panels almost individually and then you bring them together in the digital space. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying, Wrangler, I think I cut you off.
I was going to ask, why did you settle on the aesthetics you did particularly? What's the inspiration behind the aesthetics? The green women, the different colors.
So my major inspirations in terms of aesthetics and art, I mentioned Street Fighter. I'm a
Yeah.
giant Dragon Ball Z fan. Other
all
anime like
coming together.
what's that?
It's all coming together.
Yeah, stuff like Bubblegum Crisis. Akira is a huge influence on that arm. That was definitely like what I
Okay,
thought
see.
of when I realized she was gonna grow her arm. I immediately thought of Akira. So I just kind of made it my own, used my kind of colors. The bright colors is just a result in a way of growing up. There got to be a point in the 2000s, I think, or maybe late 90s, where everything was like dark and brown.
Yeah. Gears of War.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally what did it for a lot of things, is the Gears of War.
Exactly. So it works for Gears of War, but I am a child of the 80s and 90s where like bright colors and everything were the thing. So it's hard to explain. It's just I can't picture doing it any other way. I need what I'm working on to be like color.
Gotcha. It seems like a very humorous piece as well.
Yeah, that I was trying to explain on the last stream I was on. Like, it is very wacky, but at its heart, there's a lot of heart, and there's also conflict, and I guess I could say dramatic conflict, but it never gets over entertainment. Like, my thing is fun first, but there going to be moments of like real character development, conflict, betrayals, and heart. At its heart, it's a family story. You're gonna find out. You're gonna feel that more in volume 2. What's that?
We can see that family influence in this one piece we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't mean family friendly. I just mean like, it centers on
It's
the
got some
twin.
wholesomeness at its heart.
Yeah. It's
So wholesome I can't look away.
yeah.
What's in the text?
Like-
It's got great articles.
Yeah. So like it mentions in the trailer, like her home and business are in peril. Like they're going to be foreclosed. Part of that is the result of her slacker twin doing his thing, making mistakes. with money and whatnot. So there's some tension between those two. And they had lost their parents. That's like backstory stuff, like years back. So when you get to the end of volume 2, which is the end of this story, I'll put it this way. Like, and again, I'm sure you guys can relate with this. Like, I think we're all storytellers, right? We love storytelling. I am personally not great with endings. I think a lot of writers aren't.
Yeah.
And part of that is, it's a cliche, but it is like it's more about the destination, right? The journey.
Journey than the destination.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of stuff either has disappointing endings or like mid whatever endings. For this story, I had the ending pretty early on. I'm super proud of it. I think it's going to be pretty touching, and I can't wait for people to
Very
get to
touching.
it. Yeah, but you're going to go through a lot of wackiness before getting to that. Yeah,
It's touching me in all the right ways.
Mm. So
that's
Aaron
that's
says,
that's part of it for sure.
Aaron says, furry isn't mammal specific, just means zoomorphic attraction. Please kill me for knowing that word. We will not let it go, Aaron. We will remind you every time.
According to Aaron, Immortal Rising, expert of furriness, you're furry.
Yes.
Furry.
Oh,
or congratulations. I don't know how you feel about that.
About weird science, like yeah, my gnarly science logo is a complete homage / ripoff of Weird Science. Yeah.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
You did say 80s.
That's a
so
fun movie. Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It's so ridiculous. Like these young preteens or early teens just.
But look at that movie.
To a Frankenstein operation to a Barbie doll, and she becomes like this hot model.
You want to know what I hate in that movie? It's the fact that they end up scanning in like Albert Einstein's tongue for her to have. It's like, what?
Oh,
that's right.
I did not need to know that. That kind of ruins it.
It's in the movie.
It is. I've seen it a gazillion times, but it's actually good that we're talking about it because my story is very different, but in the sense that that movie is obviously wacky and comedic. At the end of it, there's just a lot of heart and there's just a sentimentality, and my comic's going to be similar in that way.
Nice.
This picture here, you could clearly see the Karate Kid influence. Like,
yeah, it's got the Mr. Miyagi vibes, right?
Exactly. That he is like, again, I'm making him his own character. They're not going to have the same exact kind of relationship dynamic, but in the sense that he's not her father, but he is like a father figure. So yeah.
And you said you're inspired by Street Fighter 2. So is there a core part of the story where they're in this fighting tournament? Is that a part of the story, or what kind of brings the conflict on in your book? If that's
okay. So yeah. So Zoe enters the tournament for money, and her main opponents are those girls, the gothy white looking girls. They're called White Spiders. They are a mix of Cobra Kai and the Lost Boys and the Warriors, all those kind of cool 80s movie groups, like bad guys. I just wanted to make my own for the story. So they're her antagonists. Like, they also enter the tournament and are just messing with her at every step. Yeah.
Nice. I like that name, White Spiders.
Yeah. When EVS played the trailer, he took note of that, and that was cool. I was like, oh yeah, I dig it.
We're at the bottom here. Yeah. And so do you plan, so is this a complete, because this is a larger book, right? You're over 100 pages, I believe, the size of the book. So it's a big book. Is that a complete graphic novel? Is that a complete story you're putting out there? Or is it just the beginning of an arc?
It's basically the first half of the story. So it's going to end on what I think is a pretty good cliffhanger. Not just to get people to want to read the second one, but story-wise, it's just something that occurs that I think people will enjoy. Yeah. It's totally story driven. It's not just a gimmicky cliffhanger to get people to get volume 2.
Sure, of course. Yeah. We've got Corey here, who just woke up here in Australia. The sun is rising. Welcome, Corey. Nice to see you.
You
man.
called it, Otter.
Hail, Corey. I knew he was going to be here. It was only a matter of time.
He did not disappoint. We were talking about your participation in the works of everything you did so far, right? I'm blanking here. We talked about who are the author. Help me out, Otter, because he did some artwork for you, for Aaron, and B.A. Turner is the one I was.
Yeah, B.A. Turner.
Yeah.
Beautiful breasts he renders.
So big, so beautiful.
Corey
Couldn't
says,
believe it, folks.
Anime.
Oh yeah.
I think he likes hot babes. If you want to, get on Corey's good side, you just show him.
That is
the
one
babes.
thing anime does very well is boobs.
Yeah. So
Yes.
what went wrong when you uploaded this image? Like there's this huge black patch right in the middle of the image here. What happened?
Okay.
Did you not re-upload the good version? What happened?
It's a crime.
So one of the things I'm offering in the combo tiers is like art book, a 48-page art book on newsprint. This was inspired by Peter Sameti's deal he did a couple months ago, crowdfunded. Again, like a lot of people that know me in the space seem to enjoy the girls I draw, so I'm just collecting all the pinup pieces, not unlike the one I just made for Frederic today.
I got to show you this, Corey. You're going to love it. Hold on. Yeah, I've got it. Notification. Keep going, Michael. I'm just going to show Corey the.
Oh, yeah. So they're not all characters in the book. Some of them are other creators' characters I've spoken with. They've allowed me to use the pinups in the book. It's just, the point is just art of just random sexy girls. Yeah, pinups. Some of them, the black bars are, it gets a little spicy, but not like porn. I'm not showing like the JJ or anything like that.
Right. No, I think we just like the sexiness, the fun kind of like PG-13, teenage, the seduction, but not full on pornography, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm not
the
really
same way.
interested.
I think most of us just want to see some boobs or at least a hint of boobs.
At least
Doesn't have to be
side
full boob,
Yeah,
but just enough.
Just give us some side boob. It doesn't have to be a nip slip or anything, but
Yeah.
I know Corey would disagree with me on that.
yeah,
Corey
he's
demands more.
He's like, why are you putting clothes on your character? I'm like, Corey, we have to talk. Characters need to be dressed. They can't be in the nude all the time.
Corey is a man of taste.
Yes.
My next writing challenge is just going to be writing book 3 while trying to keep things as tame as possible, all the while having Corey as a beta reader.
Sheldon says
That's a
boobs
good
in
push and
anime
pull.
are just a breath of fresh air. That's well said, Sheldon. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Nice.
Let's get. Just wanted to show Corey the beautiful Black Medusa here, is drawn by Micheal Ferraro. Love this piece.
Oh, give me the opportunity to ask you about this character, especially since I spent hours drawing and coloring her. I kept thinking, like,
Please do.
she caught my eye on one of the streams you were on showing the campaign, which I did back on when you were on the Friday nights.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Thank you for that. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no, of course. So she caught my eye immediately. And, as you know, so many shows, they all blur. If I heard it, I can't recall. Like, what's her purpose in the story?
Right. So she's got just a small cameo in the first book, but she's basically kind of a henchman for the evil overlord. So the big baddie in the book is called Bankman, right? Very kind of obviously, master of finances, got Bitcoin versus the traditional financing system. And Bankman has his henchmen. He's got the Tiger Twins, who are, Japanese martial arts fighters. And he's got
That's
Black
right.
Medusa. Black Medusa was kind of a baby who was brought into the kind of the slave trade from Haiti. but they found out she had kind of powers, like she's a voodoo priestess as trained by her grandmother. And so she
Nice.
uses her voodoo powers to turn herself into a mythical Medusa, right? She's not a full-on Gorgon in the traditional sense, but she kind of has taken on those powers for herself. And
I
so she
love
works
that.
for Bankman. So when you go into Bankman's offices, you see a lot of like marble statues of all the people who tried to do him wrong have been like immortalized in marble with
Ah,
her stairs, you know. So
nice.
the only people who can avoid being turned into marble are people who use the powers of the male gaze to focus their eyes elsewhere other than her own stare.
Dude, that's so cool. What a great concept.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all mashups, right? So nothing is inherently completely original, but I've taken bits here and there, kind of like you. I think all creators
Dude.
do the same thing. You know, we take the stuff we like and we make it work in our own universe because it's all stuff I loved, and then I give it a modern twist, a Bitcoin theme, and here we are. That's kind of
Dude.
that's what I love doing, and I think that my passion for my own work kind of shows off like your passion does as well. You know, it rubs off on people who share the same passion, who want to, you know, discover your story and all that. That's the fun part of comics.
Dude, that you're so on the money, and I was gonna say, like, you know, there's people that will criticize and say, oh, like, can't you come up with original ideas, blah blah blah. And sure, we all love original ideas, but Quentin Tarantino is like one of my favorite artists. Like, I
Same
love
here.
his, what was that?
Me too. Me too. Me too. Like I listen to a lot of his advice on writing and stuff like that. I take a lot of inspiration from screenwriting when thinking of my own stories and stuff. And Quentin's
Yeah.
always one I think he communicates very well what works in a story. Like he can dissect it and explain it very well. But go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No. It's great. No, but he clearly is taking so much of what he loves and making it his own and blending it and transforming it and subverting it. And no one in their right mind would claim he's not a great filmmaker or he hasn't created these classics. So, you know, I'm obviously not comparing myself to him. What I'm saying is, if that process is good enough for him, well, you know what I mean? It's certainly good enough for me. I'm doing the same thing, taking all the stuff I love from the 80s and 90s and just like smashing it together. And, you know, and that's the artistry is making it your own. Like, I would never feel comfortable. All right. So I mentioned the white spiders. Like, I would never feel comfortable just taking Cobra Kai and just reskinning them. Like, no, I want them to be their own unique group and characters, but I love, like, I want to channel, I want people to have the feel of when they read about them, oh, this reminds me of Cobra Kai, this reminds me of Lost Boys, this reminds me of the Warriors. Like, I want that.
Yeah, the name White Spiders as well makes me think of a band. Something about it, like, isn't there a band called White Stallions or
White Stripes?
There's White Stripes, yes, but I think there's another white.
I mean, there's a lot of it. White Snake.
There's a lot of White Snake was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Also, fun fact: you can't copyright ideas. It's execution that ends up making copyright. That's what's protected by IP laws, at least in the U.S.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I think it was Orson Scott Card who said that ideas were cheap. That's only like 10% of the battle.
Yeah, everyone has ideas, right? Everyone has ideas all the time. And how many people like bring them to fruition? Very few. And for those people who do bring them to fruition, how many go all the way to the end and how many keep going? That's what separates the men from the boys.
Exactly.
Or the babes or something.
Yeah, I think we all of us here just know, like, we want to see it through. Like, we want it. Like, I know it's cliched to say, like, oh, you know, you got to make something for yourself or what you would want. But it's true. Like I feel like one of the huge drivers. It's like, I need to get this out and I need to manifest it. And then ideally other people enjoy it as well.
Yeah. I mean, Quentin, even there's a quote that I heard him say a few times in interviews, because I watch way too many clips of Quentin. And
Dude,
one of his
same here, man.
one of his quotes is, even if you know nothing about making movies, if you really, really love making movies and you persist at it and you go out with the camera, and you cannot make a bad movie if you truly, truly love the medium and you love what you're doing. And I feel there's a lot of truth to that. You can make a lot of mistakes along the way, but if you put everything you love into it, like, your comic will ooze and that love, you will exude the passion that went into it. And
I actually feel like that's part of the challenge of writing, which is finding what you love and where to add it and how it can fit and feel natural in the story. It feels like a big part of the challenge of writing.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Can you define that for me in a better way, Otter? I'm not necessarily sure I completely.
Like mixing different things you like. Like I'll use the example of Kill Bill since we're talking about Quentin Tarantino. He is mixing like 3 or 4 different genres into one movie, which if that was handled by a different director or a different screenwriter, that could have been a mess, like a hot mess. And it's incredible how well it's actually balanced throughout the movie. With kind of like mixing between like kung fu movies, anime, westerns, like all sorts of stuff. But it feels natural. None of it feels out of place. And it's like that takes skill. So I feel like, and like that's a very like flamboyant example, but you see this all the time in like a lot of great fiction. And what I think is like finding how blatant you want those different ideas to be mixed in, as well as like where it feels natural to place them. That is part of the challenge.
I think I do that with my plots more than anything. Or it's like, oh, I love this ending, so I'm going to steal this ending. I love this beginning, so I'm going to put that here. I put them throughout my plot beats. I basically just Frankenstein a bunch of plot points or story elements that I like to put them together.
Yeah. Like for me, like, I mean, it's going to sound cliche because I see it done all the time, but I'll have some like manga influences in what I write. But I've seen tons of IPs at the same time that really mishandle that. So,
make it too blatant, just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Doesn't really feel like it adds to the ongoing story. That's the one thing that really gets me. Is there's a lot of that in media. There's a lot of stuff that's there, taking up airtime, taking up space, and it adds 0 to the story, barely anything to the characters, if at all, and it's literally just wasting readers' time. Don't waste your readers' time.
Very true.
Yeah. And I think the ones that actually do it the worst now these days are actually YouTube videos. How much YouTube videos have you heard them pose?
Well, they're making money from watch time, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
That's their incentive.
Like, think about this. You've seen this YouTube video. It poses a question regarding an individual. Someone famous talks about maybe their downfall. You already know this individual. You're drawn in. You click on the video, and it starts off as the first half of the video is just a biography of it. It starts off when they're fucking born. This person was born on this date to so-and-so parents.
Oh, you've seen it gets video. Worse, dude. Talk about like the 4-hour video essays where they have to start off on like a personal anecdote. They're like, I was born in a poor family. I didn't know really what I was doing. But then I discovered this passion one day. It changed my life forever. But at what cost? And they bloviate like this for like 45 minutes before getting to the actual main topic of the fucking video.
I call them stealth biographies, and I hate them because I don't click on a biography. I clicked on a video for a particular subject. So if I click on a video and it starts off like something I've already seen before, I click on something else. I don't follow.
Yeah, they bury the lead, and There's a lot of them that do. There's a lot of AI content as well that they seem
Those
to
are
be.
the worst.
Yeah.
Dude, I was going to say, not only do you have what was just described, but now you have that added layer of an AI voice that I like.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's like, okay, I understand why this is a pleasing voice or an authoritative voice or whatever, but after a while, it just, you can't help but realize it's a robot, and it's just takes me out of it. Yeah.
There's some that are done good, but you actually have to put effort into it. And I think this is the issue with a lot of them. When people see AI, they think it's a one-stop shop, click button. And basically the farmers have found that, the media farmers have found that. They clicked on it, and now you're just getting hours upon hours of AI schlop that's like 100% AI, not even researched slightly. The writing's terrible. It's redundant. There's errors all over the place. Usually factual errors now, because the creators don't care. It's all just for the.
Well, yeah, there was a whole scandal about there was news channels who would make up news that wasn't real just because it got clicks. And so they would just start making up shit. And YouTube had to crack down on this a couple of weeks ago.
They're actually on YouTube, fake tutorials. Like you'll say, you'll be messing with the software, and you're like, I wonder if it can do this. So you look like for a tutorial for that exact thing, and there'll be a fake tutorial, a couple minutes long, where you don't see anything. It's someone just telling you how to quote unquote do something, but that feature they're telling you to do or mess with doesn't exist. It's not real. It's 100% fake.
That is infuriating, because I already hated looking up tutorials on whatever Adobe software, countless things I've had to look up. The fact that what you're describing makes me want to toss my computer out the window.
Dude, that's one of the circles of hell that he's describing right there.
Fake tutorials, man.
Yeah.
So Divinity Comics says, I need to get Frederic on a cover HMU, dude. What's HMU means?
Hit me up.
Hit me up.
Hit me up.
Divinity Comics. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna have to look that up and maybe purchase something if it doesn't suck.
Interesting. Yeah, let me know how I can get in touch with you, Divinity.
I think they have boobs. No?
I'll be wholly honest with you. Just throwing this out there for the creators.
Hey, Rex.
Almost every single new thing I've seen has lots of boobs in it. And it's starting to blend. Just being honest, it's starting to blend. Starting hard to tell which boobs belong to which property.
Well, it's like we gotta bring them back. You know what I mean?
Oh, they've been back.
What's that?
They've been. Wopsters are not anti-boob. They're pro-boob too. They've been back. They've been here. They don't go anywhere.
No, they have been back for a little bit, but we talked about earlier in the show. There was a concerted effort to because you guys know about the Uniboob, right?
Like, the Uniboob.
Yeah,
that was a scandal in Marvel Comics. So they were
drawing one boob.
No, but they would draw like a padded down chest, right?
Yeah.
So imagine the same thing they were doing in movies. So the women characters in superhero movies would start to get padded down.
Yeah.
And the girls in the comics was the same thing. They would start to get, so they called it a uniboob because you couldn't distinguish the shape between the two breasts.
Exactly. Yeah, Rogue from X-Men comes to mind. That I remember that getting spread around. Like, it was a concerted effort to like desexualize, and that's just, I feel like antithetical to comics or any kind of fantastical entertainment.
Well, I think what the problem is, it's like a matter of extremes, which is, it seems to be increasingly the case in the day of the internet. But the idea, it's like female characters either have to be super undersexualized or it's basically soft pornography. There's like no middle ground.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, it is very much extremes.
Dude, that's such a great point, because growing up in the 90s and paying attention to comics and indie comics, like I was aware, of course, of stuff like Barbed Wire and stuff that I felt was like a little cheesy. It was like too much TNA and cheesecake, where it's like, well, all right, well, now it's like you can't like get past that to see the character. I think ideally you have a good character and she just happens to be hot. You know what I mean? So you have
Yeah, I'm trying to
both.
find that middle ground myself. I think I kind of nailed it, but
I think the
I don't know.
farthest I've ever seen it go while still actually being artistically consistent. There are exceptions, but Heavy Metal Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, some of it does bridge into softcore porn,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's still artistically consistent.
Well, that's Europe. That's Europe all around, man. Europe
And it-
will go ahead, James. I didn't mean to cut
and
you
it
off.
can be difficult, particularly for the illustrative works, because there's a lot of exaggeration in there as well.
Oh yeah,
So to try to not overdo it, not underdo it, but there's just that
Well, that's
trying
the
to
thing.
moderate the exaggeration.
Yeah, as an artist, you have to make drawings interesting that you're looking at, and to do that, you have to put a little bit of emphasis on it to make it stand
Exactly,
out,
yeah.
a little bit larger than life. But if you're trying to make things realistic all the time, you're kind of toning it down, and you're just trying to
Mhm.
emulate like photography, and
Yeah.
it just takes the life out of it.
Now,
It's like-
do you have any action sequences to show off? I'd like to see what your action artwork looks like. Two characters going at it.
Oh, in the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
There's a couple of shots. You got one. Let me see.
Oh, you're talking about mine?
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's two girls.
Fighting it.
Kicking each other's asses. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
like-
nice.
That's a
Oh, that's
drunken-
clever. I like that. Is this
Yeah,
now? Here's
she's,
a question here. Her bending over like this, drinking. Is this like her style? Is this like a drunken fist style here?
Yeah, she like
It's-
completely sucks when she's sober. So like her drunken style, like
That's
actually
great.
drunken,
I love
like
that.
Yeah.
she's like the
That's a Jackie Chan
stoner-
movie, right? The Drunken Master.
I love
Exactly.
it when they explore the different styles, martial arts styles. So that's the kind of stuff that draws me in. When I see that, I was like, okay, she's got a fighting style.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, yeah.
And she's dependent on alcohol. It gives another
Yeah.
because it's an advantage, but it's also a drawback because she's basically an
He's drunk.
alcoholic.
He's gonna feel it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's like a total stoner girl from California. Like she is like the stoner heart of the book, in that like every character has somewhat of an arc. Like she remains the same. Like she's
Yeah.
like, I'm sure some of you have seen The Big Lebowski, like the dude, like that's an inspiration. Like she's just like always chill, having fun, like never really angry. There's no real conflict. Like she's basically what I would like to be in life, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But
No.
ideally I would always like to be in like a complete chill drunken state, I guess.
Yeah. Now, did you have to study a lot of martial arts stuff? Like, did you watch a lot of movies, videos? Like, what was that process like? Developing these
It's like,
characters'
yeah,
fighting
it's a
style.
mix. Yeah, like a lot of it, like I was saying to the guys earlier, like Street Fighter's a huge influence, Kung Fu flicks. We
Yoga.
mentioned Tarantino, like stuff I just naturally grew up loving. But with this story, yeah, I certainly had to like deep dive into actual styles and
yeah,
of course poses and stuff like that. Yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I can't wait to see what your arena looks like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was telling
Okay.
Frederic earlier, like, I think I'm gonna do FundMyComic in the spring, and I'm looking forward to showing more backgrounds and stuff. I was like trying to cobble together stuff to put on the campaign page. So there's another shot of a girl doing an Aikido move, and the background is unfinished. So yeah, like you know how it goes, like with backgrounds, like you have to populate them. One of the things I'm doing is like I offer cameos as a tier. So a lot of people have said, "Oh, dude, that's such a great way to populate backgrounds with like characters."
That is actually.
yeah,
How much for a
so-
cameo? Maybe I'd like to be an announcer guy.
Oh, hell yeah. It's only like the book is 20, and I think the combo with the cameo is like 25. Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty cheap. I'm gonna have to pick that up.
Hell yeah. That'd
Can
be
you
great.
draw a pizza pug? Have you drawn pizza pugs
pug.
before?
That's the other cool thing. People either want themselves or their character. I've had a couple people request that it's their
It
character.
would be funny though, wouldn't that? Like just in the background, it shows the crowd, and there's literally just like a living pizza there, and everyone's acting normal. Like just another
Hell
person in the crowd. Might have to
Dude.
pick up 2 characters.
I'd be happy to add them, man.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Indie
because
Comics
for me,
is-
I feel like Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, I've always liked the announcer guy. That's in all of them. I was like, yeah,
yeah.
that's where I want to be if I was in this world. I'd be the announcer.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Almost the guy with the glasses.
Oh, I was thinking
The
of the
blonde
DBZ
guy?
narrator.
Yeah.
I always did like the narrator for DBZ. He's really he just has a real fun way of hyping it up.
So I don't know if you knew this, Otter, because he mentioned DBZ as one of his inspirations, maybe before you hopped on the stream, I believe.
Yeah. No, Kira Toriyama, like, it's one of those things where, just like many, I grew up loving Dragon Ball and his style. And then that included video games like Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest.
I was about to ask of Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just downloaded Chrono Trigger. Just got Nintendo Super NES on my Steam Deck this week, and I'm geeking out. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, dude, that's so
Chrono
cool.
Trigger is a classic.
Yeah, I need to play it. Like, I've been wanting to play it all this time. Now I've got the setup. It's like, oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I was saying, this girl mentioned the other day that she got a Steam Deck, and I was like, man, I'd like to pick up one of those at some point.
Dude,
sure.
It's so great because you can. I'm never going to stop. You guys are going to have to stop me at this point. But you can play modern games. So all the modern games, you can play them like either like at 45 FPS or 60 FPS. You might have to turn off a couple of high end settings, but you can also use the emulator, so you can emulate all the retro stuff. You can even emulate a Nintendo Switch, dude. It's crazy what you can do. Like, you can emulate all the PlayStations. You can emulate Xbox. It's like there's nothing you can do practically on that little handheld thing. It's
you're speaking my my love language. Like I love, dude. Retro gaming is a huge. I mean, oh God, like the thing that my character Zoe, the final prize she has to win is an arcade cabinet, but I don't want to give it away, but there's a specific reason she needs this specific arcade cabinet that ties into the heartwarming aspect I mentioned. So there's another thing on here. You held on it a bit, like they're at a burger shop. There's an arcade cabinet there. I've loved creating my own like retro games, obviously fake games that like would seem to fit. So in one of the panels, it's Burger Crime instead of Burger Time, but the arcade cabinet that she has to win, it's called Bugging Out, with these like bug characters. And like, I just did my best to make it like it would be like an arcade cabinet from like 1980 or 82 or something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Dude, the first game I bought on the Game Gear, I think, was Spider-Man Remastered and the X-Men versus Street Fighter. Capcom.
Oh, nice.
Versus Marvel thing. Oh, that's so much fun, dude. And they were drawn all in the like Jim Lee style, like right from this period as well.
Yeah.
And it's like the arcade would call out at you. All this, the announcer that was doing the voiceover on that machine, it just drew you into the machine. Like, it was something about that arcade machine that was like drew a crowd.
Dude, again, man, you're speaking.
I would love to read a comic book about just going to the arcade. Shit happening at the arcade.
Dude, I was just going to say, like, arcades from back then, like, just so hard to say without sounding cliched, but I was going to say hold a special place. Like, that's true, but I just feel like it's such a unique experience. It's not just nostalgia. Like, it's like, there's just nothing like that. And, like, my comic isn't about like going to arcades solely, but it's in there, and I'm trying to capture that feel. Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that, like how Archie always ended up at the burger joint, right? There was this something about this 1950s kids getting together at the burger joint and hanging out and talking.
dude.
And there's something about that 80s vibe where that was the arcade for us, right? We just hang out at the arcade. There was the new game, and then we'd get shit done, and that's where we'd meet up before going out later, or just meeting up your friends. Something,
Dude, if
there was the
if
water
I
cooler.
was
It was, go ahead.
if I was gay, dude, if I was gay, I would love you, man. Like I'd want to date you. Like, dude, you're so
You
on the
slut.
money with that. Dude, in the 80s, there was this such a like not just love for the 50s, but this incorporation of 50s culture. I feel like Back to the Future is like one of the prominent examples of this because obviously in the plot they're literally going back to the 50s, but there's so many parallels. And Archie, I can't say it's like one of the biggest influence, but it's an influence on my comic for sure. Like, and the burger joint aspect is definitely drawing from what you just described. Yeah.
It may be tough to make a story. No, but it doesn't have to be the whole story, right? It's just
Yeah.
a scene. Like Archie isn't always at the burger joint, but there's always a scene where they come together, they chat and all that.
Go back to the arcade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheldon says, just be gay.
I mean, we don't really get a lot of American slice of life comics, and I can understand why. Well, actually, no. I think with the extending reach of anime into the West, I think we there's room for that now because people are.
I think there's a market for it now.
Yeah. Like anime is actually, I think, reopened the door that the Comics Code closed.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, Comics Code is dead now, so we're doing our own thing, but Comics Code hurt American comics for the longest time. That and the fact that comics were perceived as a throwaway thing, especially as a side product of being from the newspapers, whereas Europe, it's full on like luxury books, like it's hardcore, beautiful binding. It's meant to be in your shelf on your library at home, and it's something you would pass on to your kids. Like it was meant to be collected. Whereas in American comics were for the longest time throwaway stuff. I mean, it's starting to shift, especially like in indie comics, Comicsgate. I'm seeing people naturally gravitate to the same practices that Europe does. That is, taking a year to work on a project, having larger formats or hardcover bound stuff and all that. And also the variety of subject matter. I'm not an example of that, of course, because I'm doing superhero stuff, which is the classic American comic. But other authors are doing mystery. They're doing, horror. They're doing, fighting comics like yours and Shane Davis as well. So there's way more variety than just the superhero stuff now. That's what I love. That's what I love about the indies, man. It's like a boiling pot of chaotic creativity. And it's so refreshing to see all the ideas that are coming out from people.
Such a great way to put it.
All they need is a bit of marketing, man.
A little bit of marketing and a little bit of Sabrina.
She needs.
I just love how that angle was like, high enough where it's mostly a headshot, but you couldn't contain the bounce. Couldn't be contained though. The bounce was still rising above the angles. That's what you want.
Oh yeah. She knew just what frequency to jiggle that physics.
You know what? The arcade. It's going to be called Sabrina's Arcade.
Oh, that's good.
She'll be the owner/manager.
Sheldon says Comics Code gave way to the bro code. I like that, man. That's good.
It's nice.
Discoteca. Discoteca? Maybe?
I know I've seen it to a certain degree now, and I do kind of understand the sentiment behind it. I've even seen a few people kind of wish for the Comics Code to return. I understand where they're coming from because you got a lot of classic American comics from that era. That said, I always thought France and Japan were outclassing American comics, and they had nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Comics Code didn't create the good superhero comics. They just killed the horror comics. They killed the
They
adult
really did.
detective
Yeah.
comics. Anything that had guns and a little bit of violence was just verboten. So,
And I would actually go as far as to say they're probably going to do that with movies if they did start crashing, because we're seeing a lot of like, disappearing of guns, complete desexualization of women. I'm not going to say sexualization. It's like defeminization of women.
Yeah.
All across
Yeah.
the board. Yeah.
Well, it's that while also having it being like full, like nothing left to the imagination sex scene. So it's a weird
And that, yeah.
contradiction at the same time.
yeah, it's the two
It really is.
extremes, which, that's what I was saying. Like in Europe, there's a happy medium where like books aren't all about sex, but you'll have a sex scene in there once in a while because sex is part of life, but it's not the whole focus of the book. Here, it's either none at all, like not even a teeny little bit, or it's full on pornographic.
Right.
Dude.
It's like,
Yeah.
That's
It's
another
hentai.
another huge aspect of, I don't know what to call it, like without sounding like so corny, but like my journey into indie comics and stuff like that has been the
Yeah.
idea that when I first started posting art on Instagram, because I was off social media for like a decade after like the MySpace era. I only came back to social media to show my comics or art or whatever. So when I joined Instagram, I'd post like the most tame, like hot girl, right? And people would like flag me, like
Oh yeah.
complain. And it's like, you'd have some like SJW girl like complain, oh, like this is your over sexualization of girls or teen. It's like, I just saw your friend's butthole on OnlyFans like 2 days ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Here's the
it's
real
not-
funny bit. I see this both on the left and the right. I see
Yeah.
both sides doing it.
yeah.
And
Oh.
it's like the tamest stuff. And they're like, why you posting porn, bro? It's like,
Dude,
what?
Yeah.
All one needs to do is go to the account of John Delarose to see that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'll let you in on a secret with John Delarose. His whole philosophy is whatever stirs the most drama and engagement. There you go. That's his opinion.
It took me too long to learn that, and like, it's
Michael,
have
you
to,
have
like,
to tell
explain
your
myself.
story that happened last week with John Delarose and Ethan Van Sciver.
There you go.
Could you tell this story? That's
Okay. So,
that's rich.
So how can I sum this up quick? So I've been on social media again since like maybe 2017, 18, like slowly, like, networking with people, getting to know people. Like I said earlier in the show, like Comicsgate, other spaces in indie comics, I was attracted to the like just kind of punk rock. We're gonna do whatever we want, fuck what the mainstream's doing. We're gonna make hot girls, about all that. So I felt like I found my tribe in ways. But variety of reasons, I don't really fight with people or talk shit or criticize them. One is like I'm a new creator, so I just don't feel like I'm qualified to be any kind of authority or critique anything. I also don't want to. I hate the idea of someone feeling bad. I don't want to like trash their work and just simply the idea of them feeling bad about it. It's just so many reasons why I don't fight with people and all that. But JDA, as Otter just highlighted, has this what is a process, to get clicks, but he just knows how to push buttons and get you to respond or want to respond. So he's one of the few people that, like, when I go to their feed, I just am like, like I want to counter like what he's saying. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that while my campaign's been in full swing and so many people, and in this case, CG people, have helped me out, I am super grateful. And in many ways, this has been like the past October of my life. So many, like anyone who's back, like that is so cool to me. So whether it's Katie did, Elliot, whoever, so grateful. So the last night of my campaign, It was closing at 3 a.m, so I didn't plan a closeout stream. I didn't want to ask Katie to like stay up till 3 for free to like help me out. I was like, I'm just gonna ride it out. I hit all the stretch goals. Let's just relax and see what happens. Ethan happens to go live at 1:30 a.m. So I'm like, all right, let me super chat him. Hopefully he'll just read it and let people know that the campaign's gonna end at 3. He does that, but then he looks it up and he plays the trailer, which gets me like at least 5 backers, pushing me over 50 backers total, and like hitting a $2,500 goal. I was beaming. It was the best way for that campaign to end. So 2 days later, a Tuesday or whatever it was, 3 days, I wake up, I have coffee, I'm on Twitter, and JDA, as he had been doing, is just attacking Ethan, attacking Comicsgate. And what caught my eye was this thread where they're trying to define or figure out who coined Comicsgate or who popularized the term.
Uh-huh.
He and his acolyte, some other guy, are using Grok to deduce this, to figure this out. All the results come up with a version of Richard C. Meyer started it and Ethan Van Sciver popularized it. There's no mention of JDA, and I am loving this. I'm like, oh my God, like these fools, like JDA's like, oh, Grok is faulty. Meanwhile, this guy has been just praising AI, total AI boy, using AI to write novels and comics. But in this instance, oh, no, it's AI isn't up to snuff. They're wrong. They're not searching the right stuff. So
it's the grift. Like I said, it's consistent double standards, all for engagement bait. That's all it is.
Yeah. So I'm having coffee. So I'm like waking up and I'm just loving that this is occurring. So I comment, I'm like, guys, this rules. Thank you for providing the best coffee entertainment. It wasn't even complete sarcasm because I was genuinely loving this. I didn't consider at the moment that this was an EVS started thread, right? So whatever, I say that, there's not really a response. And then I go back after heating up more coffee. I see maybe Elliot. I think it was Elliot or someone who's going with JDA. And JDA responds. He's like, I am Comicsgate. But there's a typo. There's no I. He claims to be the best writer, the greatest writer of all. So I'm like, all right, like I'm loving this. Like he's got a typo in there. So I comment, I'm like, I am also Comicsgate with the typo. I also leave out the I. I'm like, solidarity, brother. This is also poking fun at his comics first movement that he's come up with. I saw him trying to get that going like over the last couple weeks. I am completely mocking JDA and JDA alone doing this. So he doesn't respond, but Ethan responds, I'm blocking Micheal Ferraro with an exclamation point. I think he's doing a bit. So like just playing around. So I'm like, repent, Ethan. And that I say repent because that's one of JDA's responses to people that he's tangling with on Twitter. Like, especially if he loses an argument, he's like, repent.
It's the typical holier than thou argument. He's coping. That's what it is.
Exactly. So that's why I used it to mock him. But then Ethan responds. He's like, all right, I will by blocking you. I still think he's doing a bit. I go to get coffee. I come back again. I go to maybe that thread or whatever. I go to Ethan's profile and it's like, you're blocked. Dude, my eyes were bugging out. I was like, wait, what? So immediately I'm thinking, all right, I can't DM Ethan here. I email him explaining, and then I DM Katie because she's on Twitter. I'm like, Katie, can you explain to Ethan that was just me messing with JDA. It was only in hindsight where I thought it's easy to miss that typo. So when I responded, I'm also Comicsgate, solidarity, brother. I guess Ethan didn't notice the typo and thought I was genuinely like just with JDA. So I'm explaining to Katie, and then I go into this DM group and I'm like explaining it in there. Fast forward to a lot of support from people who just knew that I wouldn't do that. And that was really cool on them to like say, no, we love Michael. He wouldn't do that. Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
Salty knew it right away. I was in the DM group watching this go down. I was
Okay.
like,
Well,
oh my
I'll
God.
say this, and all I can really say is welcome to Twitter. It's a
Yeah.
shit show.
Yes.
Because it's like it's so easy for even people you're on friendly terms with to take something you say out of context, and you're like, wait, I didn't mean that. Wait,
Wait,
what's
is that a-
happening?
Is that a personal attack, Otter?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I should know better because I've been on both sides where like I say something and I'm like, wait, are they going to take it the wrong way? Or I get something said to me and I'm like, wait, what's that mean? Like, so eventually EVS goes in the green room. He's like, dude, he's like, I misunderstood you, Michael. Sorry for the confusion. You're unblocked, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, thank you. There's two things here. There's the like I'm in the space and like I'm grateful for everyone's help, and like Ethan is like kind of one of the notable guys, and like he obviously owns all that stuff. But bigger than that to me is it's not just that it's Ethan. Anyone that would go out of their way on their show to play some or like just kind of unknown dude's trailer, there is no universe where like 2 days later I'm gonna like turn and like talk shit. I also understand that this stuff like that has happened in the space.
Yeah, it's happened so much that it's a running gag.
But my perspective on that, having observed it now for years, is bewilderment. Whether it's I don't even want to. We know the names, right? There's some names that are just felt entitled, which is not me. I am new to this. This is the other thing, as you guys have seen in my campaign. I don't have what is the traditional Comicsgate style. Like what I would define the Comicsgate style, the broader thing is like very hyper detailed, like 90s image kind of like, and of course Marvel and DC, a lot of superhero stuff that I love. It's just not what I'm doing. So I never felt like I was going to come into this space and be like, oh yeah, they're going to love me. No, I knew I would have to work to like, I guess like get people that I started to see, oh, they like anime or they like Dragon Ball or Street Fighter. I felt like, all right, if I can get those people on board, like that'd be cool. I never thought like, I should be doing better, or like, why don't I have 100 backers? Or that never occurred to me. When I see people react like this, again, we all know who they are. It's just like, it's bewildering. Because this is the other thing I mentioned on CG Church. And I wasn't throwing shade at the Rippaverse or even War Campaign or whoever, just whatever group. What would be the benefit of turning on CG? Like, meaning I'm not ripping on the Rippaverse. It's just that they're not going to hire me. Like, they're not like reaching out, like it was cool. The Saska sisters like retweeted my art one day, and that was cool. But like, they're not coming at, so there'd be no reason to do that. There's other people that I don't think it's entitlement. Like, it's just they're defending other people. I mean, I could say who the people are defending, like Rini, Narwhal, who I really like their art. I get like, if you like them, you're defending them. So I think you guys know who I'm talking about. There's people like that. Like, I don't think they turned because of entitlement, but they just felt away. But what it comes down to is like Ethan is seen as like the leader or whatever, and it's so much is coming down on him. but that's why, like, when he played my trailer, like, just the thought that from his perspective, he'd be like, oh, this motherfucker, I just played his trailer on Saturday night. Now he's doing, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was obviously not what was
He's
on
going to
my
end up in the chat, and in the chat, you keep on talking about him so much.
What's that?
He's going to end up in the chat. You keep on talking about him so much.
But no,
well, we need the views, so I'll take that. But like, I'm super grateful for Ethan for bringing me on to the show and stuff. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people dislike him, but the dude is actually helping newcomers on the scene, giving them visibility where, like, we just have tiny, like, my channel is very tiny, right? Most of us have like tiny little channels. We help each other out, but it's a tiny little effort. He is like a monolith in this space. Like, he's a behemoth. Like, when you go on his show, you make sales, you make waves. People see you, they recognize you, and it makes a big difference in people's campaigns. And you can't take that away.
It's pretty simple to see why. Like, he's obviously a talented artist who has experience, and he is a charismatic. I told him this like a year and a half, whatever. I super chatted. I'm like, dude, like, your show is like classic Stern, like classic Howard Stern. Like, he's got a good radio presence. He can speak. He puts on a show. That combination is just explains why he can, like, generate backers for whomever, like, and generate interest. Like, so, but I think that has also resulted in people that can't do that, right? And so, I mean, I don't know. I think you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Like, you guys all watch it. You all seem like reasonable fellas, right? Like,
some kind.
What's that?
Yeah, I'm not very reasonable, though.
I'm super unreasonable.
I get you, though. Honestly, he comes off like he's a bit too empathetic. He's got empathy issues.
EVS?
Yeah.
Well, I think, you're seeing it. And again, like, I like Liam. I never, I stayed out of that. I don't really give my opinions on this stuff. The one thing I said to Liam was like, dude, like, a lot of people have enjoyed your comics. Like, don't give it up. Like, that'd be like criminal to give up that gift. But I understand why Ethan has defended him, because I think he sees past what people consider lies. You know what I mean? I don't want to say they're lies or not. I don't want to give my analysis of Liam, right? But I do think that Ethan sees past all that stuff, and also sees past the controversy in the moment, right? So if Liam gets accused of doing something 1 week, you're gonna have people talking about it for that week, but then the next week he'll be back to his, like, just kind of charismatic, charming self, like, because Liam is charismatic, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Oh yeah.
So I hope I'm getting that across right. I think,
yeah, for sure, man. And like, comic artists, like, none of them are perfect. Like, every comic artist is a freak in his own way, except for me. Somehow,
it's because they're subhuman.
I managed to evade all that. I don't know why I have that gift or anything, but like, we're all freaks. Like, it's like herding cats. It's like a loony bin, right? So we're trying to manage each other in the loony bin.
We're all crazy here.
Dude, we spend fucking all day imagining a drama at an art table. And then we look to the internet on Twitter, and our brain just does the same thing. It just creates drama. That's the same thing. That's the same muscle we exercise all day.
Even outside of the age of the internet, it's nothing new. That's the funny part.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Both your points are so great, because with Frederic, he's right. Like, the generation of drama, like I said it on CG Church, I would never, again, these people are like, oh, I'm above it should just be about comics, I'm above the drama, but that's like cute to say, like, but like, I do enjoy some of the drama. I'm not gonna lie and pretend that interesting things that occur are not interesting. So again, whatever Liam's motivations are, it's entertaining. I understand this past thing got very heavy and dark. I think we all recognize that, but like there are a number of choices that people make and we find it entertaining. And the thing is, like other shows that focus on the drama, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think they're just like responding to things, right? A lot of times it's joking, and my thing with joking is nothing should be off the table. Like I think anything should go if it's humor, if it's joking. So if artist A is going to act the fool, you're going to get commentator B dunking on that person. And we are often going to enjoy that interaction. Like, I'm just not going to deny that. You know, like I've watched Trash Cast. I enjoy chaos and like, again, like kind of like shock jock radio stuff. I feel like we all love or enjoy that to a degree. So again, but for me, like it's a mix of like, I want to focus on my comic. I just that combo of being new and not feeling I have a right to critique, and also a life short. Like I want. All right, so it's so crazy. This show is now the latest of countless shows I've been on, and I feel blessed because everyone has been fun, and I love talking about comics and the process and everything, right? And I want to continue to do that. That's like my favorite thing. Life's too short. I just don't have like, in a way, the time to get into drama because it would simply take me away from creating or shows like this where it's just about the fun process. You know, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense.
it does.
What you just said out loud is we need a writer's gate. That's what we need. Writer's gate. It starts here. I'm moving
Writer's
past the
gate.
illustrations. Writer's gate.
Nice.
Most people on here are like, it's kind of funny because this is like proof of comics, but it's like half the co-host, more than half the co-hosts are just like authors.
Wait, you guys don't draw comics?
I draw stick figures.
What? Okay, well,
I
that
draw
qualifies.
blanks.
I draw
Best I
blanks.
can do is I draw fantasy maps, but that's about it.
I'm very
That's good
good
enough. That's
at
good.
writing letters with my hand.
Also,
Okay.
Otter, I asked you about B.A. Turner. Like you mentioned maps and stuff. Like you're familiar with Rainey's Fiendish, or
With say that one
Fiendish
more
by-
time.
Fiendish by Rainey.
Oh
Jaws?
yeah, I actually really love Fiendish.
As do I.
I'll say it one more time.
Oh, I just said as do I. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I think out of all the big CG series that are ongoing right now, Fiendish is the one I've been keeping track of the most.
Yeah, I'd feel comfortable saying it's my favorite. I'm bad with favorites, but I love it. I think it's a great series. Yeah, she's like, I think just super talented, like just all around.
It's a great
impressive.
series. I think Rini has a really unique and fun art style. Like I've been in the chat for a couple of her streams. She's always been nice. Yeah, I have nothing but respect for Rini.
Yeah.
I find it interesting what she does as well with her own language invented and all that. Like she's really getting like diving into her world. She's creating cards as well, like that with role-playing games that are compatible with certain systems. And so she's doing a whole deep dive and she's kind of branching off. Like she just translated it into Japanese.
Yeah.
She's like got this whole businesswoman vibe going with her recently.
That's what I mean. Like just on every level, it's impressive. And like,
hello, Saboteur.
Yeah. So it's, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, you see that kind of stuff and it's like, super impressive. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's like
Well,
again, like
I got a question for you, right? So your comic, what's the long-term goal here? What are we gonna?
Oh.
What can we expect in like a year?
Oh yeah, that this touches on the thing me and Frederic were talking about earlier in terms of the crowdfunding and FundMyComic. Like, my plan is to have volume 2 launching next fall. So that would be, yeah, this story is just the 2 volumes, but I have other stories going forward. I have planned that and it's been interesting. People have asked me on different streams, like, oh, is it like a universe? And in the sense of like the Rippaverse, let's say, like, no, like I don't have a desire to make, oh, this book is going to be, and I'm not ripping on the Rippaverse, but they're clearly like, this is our Flash, this is our Superman. I'm more having a set group of characters that I'm going to place in different scenarios. So the next story is going to involve, it's called Shakedown 1979, based on this Pumpkin song. It's going to have these 2 girls go back in time to 1979 to take care of something, but it is a follow-up to this story. It's connected.
Knowing women, it's probably they're going to be going to the bathroom in 1979 and doing a meetup in the bathroom.
For sure.
I got a feeling, I just got a feeling. I'm the same way. Like I kind of like have a bad feeling about multiverses, universes, and I just see people like, again, not to harp on Eric July's Rippaverse, but it's emblematic, and I see this in a lot of people, not just him. People get an idea, and then it's okay, well, I want an offshoot. I wanted this book of that book of this universe, that thing, and people get spread so thin that there's no depth and quality to anything they're putting out. Whereas I see my own project as nothing more than a world. Like, I don't use the term universe. I'm just like, I want to focus on making one good book.
Yeah.
And make the characters that are in there, the main characters, work on, because I'm learning to write. Like, I've been comfortable with drawing, not to say that I'm the best in the world, but I feel comfortable enough to, start a project and, okay, let me tackle this. I'll draw this. I can take on a challenge. Writing to me is the new challenge. Like, I'm learning to write. I'm studying, I'm reading books on writing. Right now I'm reading, writing comics by, every time I'm trying to talk about these things, I get a fucking blank. The guy who wrote The Incredible Hulk, Peter David. Thank you. I'm thanking myself for remembering the word. It's getting late in the show, folks. But yeah, so I'm learning the skill. I'm practicing. I'm doing my homework, and it's freaking fascinating. But I prefer taking small bites that I can chew rather than biting off something that's momentous. Like, when I was a teenager, dude, I was like in love with Akira as well. And I wanted to do the most epic thing. And I would take on all these outlandish projects, and you'd fall flat on your face because you're biting off more than you can chew, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I was actually as a writer for a bit, which is why I pivoted over to like short stories and flash fiction. It's really helped a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, this is not the first project I've attempted. I had this other one that I worked on for years, and it was just too ambitious. I didn't have neither the drawing skill or writing skill to really pull it off at the time. I still kind of feel like I don't, at least as far as art goes, but that's why my story, the one I mentioned just before about going to in the past in 1979, that was going to be this, or my first crowdfunding project. But even that seemed a little too ambitious. So at some point I was like, I looked at stuff I love, like I mentioned, like Rocky, Karate Kid, all that. And now Rocky and Karate Kid are these amazing classic films. So they're doing so much right. But at the core, it's like a basic story, right? So that's what I'm trying to do with the comic, like kind of give like just like a easy to follow story in that sense. but then place my sensibilities in it. So it's not really going to be like Rocky or The Karate Kid. It's going to have like what I feel like it's just my like wacky kind of dialogue, very Tarantino influenced.
I'm absolutely
early
with
Kevin
you
Smith.
on this. It's what I try and do as well, which is try and keep the actual story itself very simple and easy to follow, but have like the ideas and themes underneath. It can be very emotional, very complex. Like I think that's how you get a lot of brilliant stories out there.
Exactly. Yeah. See, that's the thing, man. I think this touches on something I was thinking about earlier when we were talking about or Frederic was mentioning the Tarantino quote, like if you have the passion,
Yeah.
you'll end up making something great. I that is true. I think when you look at something like a Plan 9 from Outer Space, Ed Wood, like
Yeah.
he had the passion. I think it was clear he lacked the
Execution.
competency, I guess. And like I don't know about all I mean, I saw the movie, I've read about him, it's been a while, but like if you just take someone, I'm not thinking of anyone in particular in the space, but there are just people out there that are unfortunately low IQ or right, or like they might have the passion, right? So I feel
They
like
lack discipline.
yeah, discipline, even just restraint,
Competence.
yes, I think we like growing up, we all struggled with that, right? Which like confidence, like for me, restraint for sure. That's why like the other projects were so ambitious. It was like I want to do this and I have this idea, and you just start to realize like, okay, like just take a step back, like be realistic, pragmatic, and I think that in itself requires a level of intelligence that I feel like that's the thing. Like if I pride myself on anything, it's like a judge of a quick judge of intelligence, and everyone on this panel, I already knew was smart. Like a couple sentences coming out of their mouth, you know what I mean? Like I think you can just tell who has it or who doesn't, and I feel like this space is amazing because there's just so many smart, talented folks. Yeah.
Well, because of that, you will be reinvited on another show.
It did sound like it was a bit blowing smoke up asses, but I was
Flattery will get you everywhere, my friend.
Yeah. Just being honest.
But appreciate that, man. And likewise, man, you could tell that this book has got a lot of love, a lot of passion, and you're pulling from different inspirations that you're going to weave into your own tapestry. And it's going to be an interesting story to follow, man. And I hope that your cooling period on, IndieGoGo goes quickly, because I know there's a lineup of people who are wanting to support your book and follow your story. And yeah, so are you planning on switching to FundMyComic or other crowdfunding campaigns in the future? What's your view on the future business-wise and distribution-wise and all that?
Yeah, what you just said made me think of it again. Like, so I want to support FundMyComic, and I am again so grateful for all the backers I've gotten. But like all of us, you want the opportunity. I totally thought, I don't know why I chose 30. I guess, like, I'll be honest, maybe I thought like, oh, I'll set it to 30 so it has that kind of FOMO element, right? Like get in while you can. But I still thought, going by how the process of how so many do it, like so many people extend. So I just thought, all right, like I've got some momentum, I've got some backers, but I'd like to try to work to get more. So I totally thought, all right, extend it another 30 days. I'll work my butt off, all that. So again, now, like I think this upcoming weekend, the cooling period should stop. I don't know if there's some other evaluation period.
Yeah, to answer your question, Reverend Self-Destruct, he says, someone asked if the Kool It campaign was legit closed or any chance to get it still. So this is IndieGoGo's new policy. This is ever since they got taken over like a couple of weeks ago, they switched the website. Now he's at the end of his 1 month period, and they're imposing a cool down period of 2 weeks. And you're unsure what the process is with going into ongoing demand into a storefront, right?
The two things that happen. So I emailed them a couple times trying to figure out, like, can I extend, blah, blah. They gave me a definitive no email saying, no, you can no longer extend campaigns on IndieGoGo. So I was like, okay. So then I read about the late pledges thing. I emailed them about that. I'm like, okay, so when my campaign closes, like, am I going to be able to enter the late pledges stage? I didn't know if that was like something they decided. And since I'm new, like, I was like, am I just going to be denied that? From the way they worded it, they were like, yes, you will be able to enter the late pledges stage after the 2-week cooling down period. So when my campaign closed, there was a section where it said like 6 out of 6, and you had to like enter information, answer questions to like click each number. It ended with me 5 out of 6 because the last one that I couldn't mess with was something about the cooldown period. I emailed them again. I'm like, am I not able to finish this because the cooldown period isn't over? They're like, yes, you'll be able to. I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing. Like, yeah, you'll be able to finish that when it's over. So I'm assuming now this weekend, it's going to be 2 weeks. Hopefully I'm able to do 6 out of 6, submit that to them. This is where I'm not sure, like, if there's another evaluation period, right? Like, hopefully a day or two where they see I completed all 6 and they allow me to enter this phase. So the combination of this annoyance with IndieGoGo and like just losing momentum and just it's paused, I can't get any backers, made me think, all right, like, let me at least try to, this is, okay, Frederic, I'm assuming you would know this. Like, does FundMyComic have a sign-up page? I don't think
that's
so.
the thing they're missing. No, they don't have a sign-up page, so you have to get your own mailing list thing happening with MailChimp or some other service on the side. So you have to take care of that on your own. But
Yes.
they do allow you to do pretty much everything with your campaign in terms of extending it, turning it into a storefront. There's almost no restrictions with how you morph your campaign. So there's a lot you can do with that. And they don't impose any stoppage. Like, so if you change your mind, if you want to extend it, there's so much you can switch along the way. You just have to communicate with Luke.
Cool. Yeah. So I'd like to launch something on there, an exclusive cover for there. That would be in the spring, because another thing I've learned, I'm sure you guys know or have heard, like, this period from November to January or February is a dead zone for crowdfunding. So everyone's like, you got to launch like in the spring.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just try to get signups. I have MailChimp, and then have a decent, I'm going to set the goal low on FundMyComic. And it's just a matter of getting as many backers as I can before finishing the book and, of course, printing it. So my plan is to, by the time I would launch on FundMyComic in the spring, I'll have that much more of the comic done. And then ideally print shortly after the FundMyComic campaign would end. Maybe I'll just set it for a month and get that going in the summer.
Yeah, you could theoretically open a storefront on FundMyComic right now, I think. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. Like, it's something you could consider.
Okay. Yeah, so ideally I would, or no, I mean, I'm not going to launch volume 2 in October of next year if I haven't started fulfillment on volume 1. So once I start fulfillment on volume 1, then I would start volume 2, the campaign.
No, but what I mean is you could start a storefront for volume 1 on FundMyComic. If I'm not saying to do that, I'm just saying it's an option that, Like if
Yeah.
if IndieGoGo's giving you the runaround, you could have a FMC, a FundMyComic, ready to go like tomorrow, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to look into, but that's the basic plan. Just to, try to get as many backers. Because you know what it is. It's like this is, and I know you can relate. Like it's the first time doing this. You learn a lot. I'm not a streamer. Like it's been like jumping into the fire this past month. Like
Yeah, you've been on so many shows though. You're like you're a natural now.
I do feel like I'm more comfortable and I've gotten better. Actually, I feel like I've talked too much on the stream, which makes me uncomfortable.
Because you don't have your own show, right? Do you have a
No.
YouTube? No, nothing.
No,
like
all
that.
I've done video wise has been like reviews. I've made video reviews. So that did help this a bit. But like, again, this has been like jumping into the fire, getting used to it. So I feel like I don't want that experience to be like just cut short where I'm like, I feel like I just want the opportunity to get more backers and convince people and all that, so it's not a matter. It's never been about money in the sense that, of course, the basics of like, it's got to fund the printing and the shipping. Yes, we all know that. But to me, it's just people. Like the more books I can get into people's hands, like that's the amazing part. Like that's what I want, like more of.
Yeah. I don't think anybody comes into comics, like a scammer wanting to make the big bucks because, well, I mean, there might be an exception here and there, but it's, especially right now, it's so hard to make it financially viable that it's all passion projects. It's all people that have stories in their heads that they want to get out in people's hands and get readers on it. They try to grow the readership of it. So we do respect that. Author us in Buffington, the public. So all the contact information of myself and everybody on the panel are in the description. So you could just go through that and contact us on X. I do have to follow you to DMs, but you could just like at me a request and we can start a conversation. That won't be a problem. Sheldon says, I don't understand this cool down period that they do. If something is hot, why cool down? Right?
It's a weird phrase.
It makes no
Maybe it's an
freaking
economy thing. They don't want everybody going to singular projects and they got all these other projects going. I don't know.
It's so strange to me. It's like, cool it, man. We don't want you making more money. You've made enough money now. I understand sticking. Maybe it's the FOMO. So, end dates are respected and end dates can give you the real FOMO of, holy shit, this is the last day. I better get it in there because it's going to close. That aspect of the FOMO.
Dude, that's
I could
the
understand.
That's the only point I've heard that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if that's how they're looking at it, like, okay, the campaign is closed and we want this period of like, no, that's it. Like no one else could do it. But that in itself, it's its own kind of weird, like kayfabe, like, all right, but 2 weeks from now, you're going to be able to pledge again. So you're still kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it still kills the FOMO argument, right?
Yeah, of course. So it's a strange rationale that, of course, at least I haven't seen an explanation of. They just say, "Oh yeah, it's a cool down period." Sorry. Okay.
Did you tell him like, my whole comic is called Kool It? Like I'm already cool enough. I can't get any cooler than this, man.
Well, you just remind me that the one thing they did that was cool, no pun intended, is that like when I explained to them in one of the emails that like because of your transition, I lost like 2 days, like early on, like
yeah.
So they gave me 2 days.
You owe me, bitch.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, they tacked on 2 days. They extended it, like at least that.
Oh, really? They honored 2 extra days?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
It jumped ahead, like right when it was going to end, whatever day. when after the email, I saw 2 days left. Yeah.
Interesting. At least they did that, but
Yeah.
yeah. But it's true. Like I was thinking the same thing. Like I was thinking about that when looking at FMC FundMyComic, and I was like, okay, so if they could take a campaign and then just turn it into a storefront, it does take away from that FOMO aspect. Because I think the thing with the campaign is it is an exciting period of crowdfunding that has an end to it, and it kind of there's stakes with the dates that are involved. So I can recognize that a little bit, but it's weird with the extension after the cooldown, what have you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, it's just like weird kayfabe where it's just like, okay, we're calling it this, and we're giving the illusion of finality with the closeout, but eventually everyone's going to get used to like, oh yeah, okay, so now we know 2 weeks it's going to be down, and you plan accordingly, and
yeah. But the weird thing is you're missing sales during those 2 weeks. Like it's what people were saying, like during a conference, like, oh, I'll come back later, and they never come back. You're gonna have a certain amount of people that you'll miss because they won't catch you on a stream or something like that.
Dude,
so
this is the first stream. I mean, when I was on CG Church, there were people that followed, which of course I'm grateful for, but this is the first stream where I've been on where like someone seemed like they were going to back and then they couldn't, which sucks. But
yeah, we had a legit someone going through the process saying, hey, it won't let me back, so you would have gotten at least a backer. So hopefully they'll be back. Well, I'll tell you this though, when you get out of the hibernation period, cool down, let us know, and we'll make an announcement on the streams, so people who are watching will know, hey, this campaign that you were interested in is back in action. Grab your copy. It's out of cool period. So keep me in the loop for that.
Oh, dude,
we'll get the word out.
Hell yeah. And I was going to say, like, yeah, I will be in this chat going forward. Like I said, so many people have streams. They overlap. I was just thinking before, like, I had a ting of guilt because I'm pretty much a regular in the Salty and Savage chat on Tuesdays. And I have no idea if they stream today, but I obviously was not in there. So,
yeah, dude, there's so many streams at the same time. Like Tuesday is incredibly popular. You got Salty, you got Fusebox, and Ethan's also streaming on Tuesdays, I think, as well. So it's like the competition is through the roof. Like everyone's got. I was joking the other day, like no one's in anybody's chat anymore because everyone's got their own streams now. It's like everyone's streaming.
Yeah, I usually finish up a stream before this one that we took the day off.
Right.
Oh wait, Sheldon did back already?
Oh, nice. Yeah, Sheldon's
very nice.
Sheldon's a trooper, man.
Well, if he's talking about my comic, let me take the opportunity to thank you so much. What happens is partly because I have OCD. Like during the campaign, I wasn't looking at who was backing because I didn't want any kind of weird like, oh wait, why didn't this person back or why didn't that person? I don't want that because there are a variety of reasons why people won't or can't back you in a moment. I understand that. I don't want that coloring anything. I also understand, again, like my book's not for everybody, blah, blah, blah. So I've looked at it more and tried.
It's not for everybody. It's got hot babes. Who doesn't like hot babes? Shut up, man. It is for everybody.
I feel like that's the right perspective, but so I have looked over the names, and now it's a matter of like, because it's IndieGoGo, all I see are emails. So if someone has their name in the email, well, I'm like, oh wow, that's that person they backed, and I'll thank them. But I don't recall seeing Sheldon's name. So if he's talking about mine and he backed, like, I very much appreciate that. That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, no,
Sheldon's been all the time.
He's been like very helpful. Like he's recommended one of our guests, Sean Chen, a couple of weeks ago. It was
nice,
incredible. Like he's a Marvel artist. He's putting out incredibly tight book. Like he's really on a professional level and all that. So Yeah, Sheldon's been very helpful. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I see him in a K-pop Katie's chat a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I've seen her. She's been in Omer's chat, and I reached out to her, followed her show as well. I haven't caught her show live yet, but I'm aware of her. So yeah, that'd
You
be
should try to
interesting.
get on there.
I approached her. I asked her. I think she's pretty booked for the time being, but we might make it happen in the future. So I'm thinking it'll happen eventually when the stars align. I got on a show. So I just talked to someone who has a Bitcoin show today that I was trying to get on, and I reached him today, and we're going to make it happen for next week. So I'm super excited about that because I haven't, like, as generous as people are in the comic skate indie YouTube sphere, like, it's been very hard to get on any Bitcoin show. So I'm just happy that happened today. So I wanted to say that to everybody. I'll keep you guys in the loop. I think it's going to be Wednesday next week, so I'll talk about it on next week's show. It'll be it'll be fun.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it's something I wanted to mention at some point, knowing I was going to be on here. So I'll start off with the positive. You know, I backed your comic. It looks cool. And part of what I'm hoping for is it gives me, if not an understanding, of an appreciation for Bitcoin, because before your comic, and I've heard you describe it on streams, and it got me more and more positive about it. But dude, I couldn't stand Bitcoin bros and like that whole like I hated the idea of Bitcoin. I hated the idea of it, how people talked about it, the concept. I also understand I'm ignorant and all that. So again, like, your comic looks awesome, and I'm hoping I read it and I'm like, okay, now I understand. But the show you're going to be on, I'm also looking forward to watching, because I'm sure you guys will get into it and make my ignorant ass appreciate Bitcoin more.
No doubt, man. Hopefully it'll, because it's a space that it's contaminated with a lot of stuff, right? Because there's a lot of sleazy, money grubbing, greedy stuff around that area.
A lot of people from India.
That's why, like, I try to distinguish crypto from Bitcoin. I mean, technically, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but everyone who uses the word crypto is usually trying to get your money, which is kind of disgusting and gross. Whereas Bitcoin it's the digital gold aspect that I respect. It's got all the properties of money, except you can, like, send it through email. And that's the properties that I find interesting. So the comic book, I mean, it's not about Bitcoin, but the character uses it and you get to see it through his eyes. So hopefully it won't be obnoxious, and you might pick up a little bit of this and that through osmosis, though it's not an educational book.
Yeah, but, exactly.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you get from it, and everybody else as well, because you don't have to like Bitcoin even to get into the book, because it's a superhero book at the end of the day. But
you just inspired me for an upcoming story I already had.
Yeah, you messaged me about that. That's I'm gonna have to look at
Bitcoin story.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a Bitcoin story just because they're like writing Bitcoin comic books. I want to do a solidarity thing. I think what I'm gonna put into this, as best I can, weave it in. What is Bitcoin? How does it operate, and how it can benefit you?
Are you asking me that now?
No, I'm gonna propagandize it.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I was about to get into my spiel, but folks, we're like 40 minutes overtime tonight because it's been so exciting. It's been so much fun. We've talked about so interesting stuff, looked at great art, and have been an all-around blast. But we're at the time of the show called Shill Time, and you know what that means.
Hit it! fucking shit! Oh, there they are. Look at these gorgeous sons of bitches.
And here are my gorgeous sons of bitches. Everybody here, thank you so much for being on the show, my gorgeous co-hosts. You are talented. You are smart. Michael has attested to that tonight. There's no taking it back. It's
Who's
on
Michael?
tape. Let's have a go around and see what everyone's working at and where we can reach them and find more about what they're working on. Let's start with James here at the bottom.
Whoa, me.
Yeah, just bottom vertically, not in any other metaphorical way.
Sure. Yeah, so right now I am working on my brand new series, which has actually been going pretty good. Just released the first installment. Here's my Substack right now. You can actually find it on Substack, and you can actually find it on Royal Road. You want to put my screen up?
Yep. There you go.
Thank you. So this is my Royal Road. Just literally launched it the day of when I'm putting up my short story there. So you can find me on Royal Road. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And you can hit up my Substack. We're actually going to get the really good stuff because there's a lot of features on Substack Royal Road really doesn't offer. We got an entire little intro here, but I always here's a lovely piece that was actually made by our own Frederic here. I did all the wording and shit, but this is our official cover for the short story series, The Evergreen. In a lawless land, when an ancient evil arises, an orphan army will face it. You were talking earlier about inspiration and how to blend it. This one is actually heavily inspired by Peter Pan, yet if you were going to read it, you probably wouldn't pick that up too much. But if you check it out, it's going to have my trailer right here. You can go ahead and play and check it out.
I've got the trailer here on
Yeah.
in the files. Do you want me to play it now?
You know what? Let's give it a roll after, because I'm almost done. Because what we also have that I have here, other than just this entire first 2 issues here, you get the first 2 episodes. Going to be releasing them weekly. I already have 8 already written out. More than half the series is already done. We're just going to hit the schedule as we go, so you can expect every single week you're going to get something. But we also have a PDF, a downloadable free PDF. You download it, this is what you're going to get in the first issue. Episodes 1 and 2, The Evergreen, got all the lovely stuff here. This is the titles of the issues. Stranger in a Strange Land, episode 1 and 2. You also got yourself some maps. People love maps. Got a little bit of art here as well, and everything's nice and fashioned. Here's our sort of like world mission statement that's in every single World Without End PDF you download. We got an intro. As the series continues, this is going to be inspired by Dragon Ball Z itself, the whole last time portion. This is where that's going to happen for new readers, so that way you're never left behind. And then besides that, you got everything nice and formatted and ready to go for your consumption. Nice little little bit of art there, little message in the background there. It's all here that you can get this to download, read on your Kindle for free right now. All you gotta do is hit up my Substack, give it a subscription. And with that, Frederic, may you play the trailer.
Yes, I should. Let's do
Through
it.
hollow night, our voices soar. We roam no more, our spirits roar. In dust and shield, our hearts burn free. We sing the spark of destiny. No throne, no crown, no gilded lord. Our oath resounds forevermore. Against the tide, we stand as one. Our crow will echo when dark is done.
Rad, man.
Yeah.
Looking good, man. Looking good.
It's a blast to write. Hopefully, it's a blast to read. And when I have time, I like to convert these all to audio format as well, because the guys here know me. I'm really into audio drama, and I've been practicing it for a while. But it takes time to both write, edit, put everything in the PDF, and then work on an audio version. So that's something that I love to do when I finally get some time. But you can get the story for free right now on my Royal Road. Follow me at World Without End on Royal Road, or find me on my Substack, worldwithoutendlore.substack.com.
Nice.
Thank
I
you.
will do so, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Can
it.
you repeat that Substack again?
World Without End Lore.substack.com, or just look up World Without End Lore.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Appreciate the follow.
Yeah. And Lord Otter, it is
Well,
your turn to to shield.
Well, if you want to find out what I do, I have two wonderful sword and sorcery books you can check out. They are Steel and Stormbright, The Curse of the Star Raids, and newest to the collection is The Shadow of Twin Moons. I highly recommend both of them. I may be a little biased. That's because I'm a published author, and you should totally listen to me. I can do no wrong. But in all seriousness, if you want some amazing fantasy that focuses on themes of brotherhood, magic that's actually wild and dangerous in the world, and just high adventure, I highly recommend my book series. I think you'll enjoy it. It's gotten a lot of positive reviews. It's up on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all the big retailers. And yeah, a lot of it's on sale. And you can find an audiobook version for book one. I am currently getting everything set up for an audiobook version for book two with Sonnet as we speak, or I'm in the very early phases of it anyway.
I
But
started
yeah,
listening to the audiobook this weekend, and he's so good. Like he's an excellent reader, and at the same time he does interesting voices for different characters. So it's like an audio play almost, you know.
Sonnet nails it. I really do think he does a stellar job. He and I both kind of like talked beforehand, just kind of like making sure that we were both happy with how the voices turned out. And good God, I'm very happy with how it turned out. Stellar job all the way around.
Yeah, I can't wait for him. You got to
Me-
nail him down for the second one for sure, because I want.
Oh yeah, for
same-
sure.
I want the same quality. I want to listen to the second one in audio as well. Shall we play your trailer? Lord
Yes,
Otter?
please.
Let's do it.
Too cool.
Yeah.
That's right. And that brings us to Gnarly Comics. Michael,
Yeah.
give us your
Me.
final shill, and then we'll play your trailer again. I'll have it queued up here.
Yeah, so as been much talked about in the show, like the campaign is on pause. But if anything interests you at all about it, you could just sign up for free, or follow rather for free on IndieGoGo. See what happens when the cooldown period ends. I also, like I mentioned, I'm going to do FundMyComic, hopefully in the spring. But I also do video reviews of comics that I should be posting on every platform, but I have been slacking on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all that stuff. But Twitter is my main hub. It's the easiest way to probably contact me. I'll either back comics and do reviews of them. Sometimes people send me a comic. Sometimes people send me like PDFs of comics. So yeah, I just did a review of Von Klass's Monster MD. I know that's a book that's been out for a while, but that also gives me the opportunity to say, like, it doesn't matter if it's a book that's been out. It doesn't have to be timely. Like, it's new to someone, right? So I happily review books whenever they're released. I try to keep it mostly in the indie space. Once in a while, I'll do like a bigger like image book or something, but it's mostly people in the space that I review. So yeah,
Nice.
check those out. That'd be
Nice.
cool.
Especially in the indie space, like people's books are always new to somebody because it's so hard to
Yeah.
get the word out.
It really
Let's-
is.
Let's go look
Exactly.
at that trailer again here with the white spiders.
That's right.
I like the text.
Thanks. Yeah, I would, total 80s.
Nice. Did you do the text on this?
That font is just. I did the text for the logo. This is just a retro 50s horror movie font. I wanted that kind of like
Gotcha.
dramatic, like like the
Mhm.
movie posters.
Bobzilla.
Bobzilla.
Yeah. Woo, that's nice. Giving the Black Theater treatment there.
I'll bet you Bobzilla could wrestle the Brugmar.
I'd imagine that guy being in the mob. Good job, mob.
He probably could.
Oh, nice.
If I don't get to it first.
Frame by frame animation.
Yeah, the girl dancing at the end, I animated the traditional way. It was hard.
Yeah, I'd imagine, bro. New Jersey. Very psychedelic, radical.
This is my favorite part.
A lot of people. I can't take credit. That was the guy who made the trailer good stuff. That was his
Yeah.
idea.
Good animation at the end. Good animation there.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted her dancing. She's like the fun spirit of the comic.
Yeah. Here's
Beautiful
one
trailer.
thing. Is there a boob fighting style?
Oh, God.
Like a
You
chick
know-
with huge knockers using them like fists?
Dude,
Because that would be funny, dude.
I have to add this somehow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like imagine her doing a flip but instead of using a hand to push herself up. It's like just a boob. And like she's
Dude,
fighting with 4 arms technically.
The more you're talking about it, the more I'm ashamed I didn't come up with it myself. And
Jug
I'm gonna have
foo.
to add-
You see the boob flying through the air and it slowly like takes the shape of a fist right before it hits someone in the face.
Hell yeah.
I'd
Everybody
read
was
that.
Jug Foo fighting.
Jug Foo. Oh, that's a good one.
Jug foo.
My co-hosts are the most perverted in the galaxy. They cannot be.
I'm actually quite-
outdone.
Well, it takes one to know one, Frederick.
I didn't exclude myself from this. I we're all here for a reason.
Yeah. I'll be picking
Perverted
up
and
in this,
creative, though.
that's
That's the mix.
Yes,
It's actually a good
Yeah.
combo. A lot
Yeah,
of
you
the
know, because
best
the-
creators out there are perverted.
You
I mean, just a
can
little bit of
have-
restraint. Just
You
a
can
little
just
bit.
have sexy, which is kind of where I go for sexy, maybe not full perverted, but sexy. But
Yeah.
then you add that layer of like what you can do with comics. You get that creativity going. You don't have women fighting each other with boobs, on most mediums, anyways. There's no boob fighting style. Let's get this going.
No. Yeah. It
I mean,
has
if
to
you're
be
gonna,
done.
if you're gonna be playful with it, you might as well
Yeah.
go all the way and knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
That would be great. Do your characters have special moves?
Yes. Part of the idea of the white spiders is they're goth witches, so they, use dark magic. And that's where the Street Fighter inspiration comes in. They're able to throw like projectiles that are just, magic energy. And that is the quasi explanation for how they're able to do that. But let me,
So they're right
Actually-
between Street Fighter and Darkstalkers.
yes. And it just made me think of one of the big themes of the comic is science versus magic. And that's
that's also a theme of my comic. Interesting.
dude. Part of it for me is drawn from real life in that
Yeah.
I'm of both minds. Like, I'm always interested in how something works, right? But I also don't like when someone comes along and kills the magic. So, example I always go to is, I mean, this is fiction based, of course, but like Star Wars. I'm a giant Star Wars guy, the original trilogy. And when Lucas made the prequels, as you know, he devised the midichlorians to explain the Force.
Every time.
What's that?
Yeah, we were
Every
talking about that
time.
yesterday with Patrick on.
And it got to the midichlorians.
I hate it so much. And like
The Force is germs.
yes, the Force
Exactly.
should have remained this mystical thing that didn't have to be explained. It made it so much better. So, and this touches on what we were talking about in terms of ideas and craft. Like, I don't want to explain every reason my characters can do something. Like with the witches, it's like that's enough. They're witches.
They're witches.
They practice witchcraft. That's why they shoot out whatever they're doing and spells and
Right.
and yeah. So Zoe,
I like to draw on the gargoyle school of thought, where one of the guys in there said, whether used for magic or science, energy is energy.
there you go. That's great. Yeah. So, but yeah, but so it's the fun of that dynamic of my character Zoe using science to devise ways to have her achieve, and then of course the spiders rely on magic, but again it reflects that thing in life of that, like it's like faith or religion or the belief in God, of course. Like you'll have atheists that not that I don't appreciate their perspective, but they can be very annoying by going out of their way to kill the magic, or you know what I mean? Like it's I feel like you can see
Don't want to
that
over explain things. Kind of, I think the best way I've heard it put is you got to get in the spirit of things.
Say that again.
You got to get in the spirit of things.
Yeah.
Just go with it. Get in the spirit of things.
Yeah.
Like they don't explain in Dragon Ball Z why there's a dog president.
Yeah, exactly.
They just show you and you accept it.
Exactly. Another thing I will think of is like there was this story in Japan when Space Invaders came out, how there was like a shortage of yen coins because the game was so popular. I loved that story. There were guys over the years that would I suppose did more research or had contacts or whatever. And I would hear on podcasts like, oh no, that was exaggerated. That didn't happen. And I was like, oh, come on. Like you're killing the magic. I like if it's an urban legend, I prefer the legend. Like I don't need you coming in and just being like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't the case. Like, so that's kind of what I'm talking about in a way.
Gotcha.
But it's not to suggest that I'm just open to lies. You know what I mean? Like it's just I like the idea of a story with some truth or some aspect that's believable. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rev says, make magic mystical again.
There you go.
There you have it. That brings us to you, Wrangler. So
The rings.
Wrangler
All right.
from the Frequency
Well.
Studios.
Let's see here. Do you like science fiction or do you like fantasy? If your answer is yes, then check out Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. Magic-fueled sci-fi adventures. A lot of fun for all ages. Go on an adventure with Haley, Elizabeth, and Sabrina as they have to make their way through underground labyrinths and learn to use their newly acquired abilities in creative ways to take on the challenges ahead. You can also check out my Substack at Frequency Studios and my YouTube channel, At Wrangler212 is my handle. Type that in with a channel search. It'll pop right up, and we all do a weekly Wing It podcast every week, Monday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. And you can also follow me over on Twitter at Frequency Studios. And I'm forgetting something. So I'll call it done there.
We need
Frederic.
to get your.
Oh, yes. And here is Frederic's rendition of Sabrina. Excellent job he did right there.
That's right.
Sexy.
Beautiful yet deadly.
Yes.
Very.
My favorite.
What's not to love? Frederic, I was going to ask if you could do me a favor and send me a DM on Twitter with everyone's links. I can't remember all these names. And
Oh,
I'd
they're
like
all
to-
in the description.
of the show.
Yeah, if you look at the description of the
cool.
show, everyone's Twitter,
Yep.
YouTube, and all that is all listed here. And if someone's missing, let me know. Everyone should
Cool.
be there. Even BillyBobSac's there, and he's not here tonight. So it's pretty complete in terms of co-hosts.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I'll send you the link to the show for sure, just to make sure you don't miss it. Oh, well, you already have it in the notifications.
Yeah, cool.
This brings us to moi. And yes, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, like the show, and turn on the notifications. I also have a comic book called Ratel, in case you didn't know, which is currently crowdfunding on FundMyComic and Geyser.fund. You can find both the links in the description below and on ratelcomic.com. And I also have a trailer, which I will play for you right now. Here we go.
Thank you all so much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. I especially appreciate Frederic Guimont. I'm just going to call him out tonight because, I don't know, I want to make everybody else jealous. And also, he's got a great name. Thanks for coming on, everybody.
Frederic Guimont. Okay, that is actually a really cool scene. I really like that. That's cool. Damn. That looks really cool, Frederic.
Frederic, what are you working on right now, man?
And Frederic, you just reminded me what I was forgetting.
Yay.
I did? Excellent.
Yeah. By playing your trailer, you reminded me, oh yeah, I was going to ask if you could roll mine.
Yes, I don't think I have your trailer on queue here.
Ah, okay.
Which is do you have your trailer on the, can you pull it up? You're gonna have to send it to me because I don't think I have it.
Okay,
on
I
the file.
thought you had it in there from last time you
I
played it.
should, but did I don't think I see it in there. Bring it
Okay.
up. We'll play it, and you're gonna have to send it to me because it's not in the fucking file, which is a travesty.
Huh, all right.
Yeah, I'm
Hang
going through
on.
it, and it's not here, which makes no sense. Play Sabrina while you pull it up.
All right.
Yeah.
That's how I know Tenkage is watching the show. Is when you play Sabrina. That's when he chats. Like he's dancing and he's got his musical keys.
Very good song.
He's lurking out there, but he's listening to Sabrina and he's getting everybody going. Everybody's got the blood pumping. Makes people feel young again.
Yeah.
Do you have the link to the trailer?
It's in the
I see
share.
it. I see it. I got it.
Yep.
Let's do
And
this.
after all this, just watch. We're gonna end the show, and you're gonna look through your clips and go, "Oh, there it is."
Probably, and if not, you'll send it to me, and we'll add it so we have it next week.
Alrighty. And another trailer by James himself. Thank you for this, James.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Haley and Elizabeth are back, and this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. And Haley's world, who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's world? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly.
Nice.
And this time the Spuds.
Thank you,
Nice.
Frederic.
Wicked. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Michael for coming on, man. It's been a blast. Thank you for sharing your passion, your project, and your time with us.
Hell yeah.
Talking about creativity is what we're here for, man. It's all about the process. It's what keeps us going and creating every day. It's this drive to share stories with the world of what we love about people and our connection to everybody through this medium that has something magical to us.
Hell yeah. Had such a great time on here, guys.
Awesome, man. Glad to hear it. We're Comicscape's best kept secret here. And hopefully if you subscribe and share, we won't be a secret for very long. And
Subscribe, everybody. Subscribe.
That's right.
Subscribe.
And on that note, I will leave you with the final Sabrina and then the outro song. So good night, everybody. Thank you so
night.
much for tuning in.
Boys, 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 now who's that man? Boys, 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 look far! Boys, boys, boys. Allez-y!
sun has gone to bed, and so must I. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Hello, Bitcoiners. Thank you very much. Hello. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you.